who I'm thinking that it's a family, and even the professionals have done it their whole life. Go back to go back to that. I'm not saying that you support that or agree with that. That's just my viewpoint and many others.
Right.
But that's where I stand on that. And I appreciate your hard work and being out there all this time. I know it's hot and heavy, but y'all are doing a good job. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, come back, and it was nice talking to you, Tom, and yeah, feel free to come back, and I got someone else ready to come and talk about. I have a whole bunch of videos too, so if there's anything that comes back, you'll have a link. Come back in, okay?
Yeah, I'll get your email later. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. All right.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you. Bye
Tom. All
bye.
right. All right. We have Jay. We'll bring her in just a second. Real quick, I want to read this article. Um, I don't know, it got cut off, but I guess Nanos won a gold medal during last week's Texas Police Olympic Games boxing competition at the University of Texas at Arlington campus. So this goes, um, along with his kind of his bully, I want to fight kind of, persona. Five El Paso police officers took part. The fourth annual silver. So anyway, I just wanted Nanos. Let's see. Nanos defeated fellow El Pacian Gabe Cerna. We should get a hold of Gabe. Let's see if we can get a hold of Gabe and get him on the show and see if he has any old photos or videos from when Nanos and him fought. Shout out to Gabe Cerna. Fought Nanos. Nanos, I guess, won. But what do you guys think about Nanos being a boxer and winning a gold medal? I mean, this literally could be a Netflix. I mean, it's exactly, and that's where this has all come to an head. But this has been going on with Nanos before Nancy. I hate to say it. The Nancy is just the Nancy is just the last straw, I should say. We will find out that they're going to vote tonight. So if they vote to attempt to remove Nanos, then we will. That's a good thing. And they literally are going to try to get him removed. There's an old law. I don't know how the law works. Hot mama. Oh, well, let's bring Jay on. We got Jay in the queue. Welcome in, Jay. Hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Welcome in. So
Hi.
is this your new logo?
Yep, that's my channel.
Awesome. Well, why don't you what is the channel again?
It's Pretty Little Clues. I was wondering how you do a live stream, and then there was this thing at the top right that said stream this to yours. And I'm like, oh my God, I figured it out.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a
Yeah, I
learning
saw
curve.
that. I saw that people doing that. So yeah, people who have channels, they can stream Pretty Little Clues on YouTube. So go give her a follow. And what do you think about that Nanos winning gold medal? Oops.
Uh, Gold medal in screwing up cases.
Yeah. Well, he wants to fight everybody. That's kind of the whole point is he has that, everything's a fight. Obviously.
Yeah, gold medal in non-evidence collection. I don't know. Okay, I'm done. Stop.
So what did you talk about on your show today? Just so when people go there they can see you. Are you live right now on the same show?
Yeah, I'm just dual streaming. I started a new live, but we were talking about missing persons in Wisconsin. So I went on the missing person Wisconsin website and we were looking at some of those, and it just really brings light to how much publicity there is not in some cases. There were so many that I didn't even know existed. It's sad.
Yeah, well, what we're going to go over, if you want to stay on while we're doing this, is the first one. I'll pull up this one. Is I went to, and anyone can do this, to YouTube, and I just went and tried to find the oldest videos from Nanos. And there was so many old ones where he was literally, having fights with everybody, right? So this was from 2016. So I don't know what you were doing in 2016, but Nanos was literally fighting the world. And here we are, Judgment Day, I call it, for Nanos, where these people have been trying to get him thrown out for like a decade or longer. And then when he got elected again, it was like a whole like, oh my gosh, how does he get? Because he suspended his campaign, the person that was running against him, and he won by 480 votes. So what we're doing is I have a whole bunch of these people behind Aaron Cross, that sheriff. There's been lots of people that have been trying. And so this guy, look how old this looks.
Yeah, I mean, technology has advanced so much that even if you try to look at things from 10 years ago, it's mind-blowing. It's
Well,
absolutely
especially
crazy.
on the news, because the news has like the best cameras now, and this is the best they had in 2016, or that's the best that I don't know. But here we go. This is a bullying probe. Shocking, right? For Nanos, a bullying probe.
By department employees.
That question has surfaced after the deputies union president accused Sheriff Chris Nanos of workplace bullying. Sergeant Kevin Kubitsky filed a complaint with the county in March, launching an investigation. Kubitsky not only complained about threats, but also harassment and a hostile work environment. KGUN 9 obtained the final report, which has now become the center of controversy. 9 on Your Side's investigative reporter Valerie Cavazos has more.
Sergeant Kevin Kubitsky, the union president, has a lengthy list of workplace complaints covering 2 years against Sheriff Chris Nanos, charging him with managing by threats and intimidation.
All the little things that have been done and have happened since that time frame, they've added up, and it's quite severe.
Take a look at the final report by a.
So this is a whole different deputy than Aaron Cross and Lappin. This has been going on forever. There's even one deputy, and it's sad, I hate to say it, but he actually unalived himself after some sort of case that involved the Nana. We're going to go over that too. It's sad. I mean, this bullying has caused so many families that, like I said today, for everyone to be here for Judgment Day, because we won't know for sure, but if they vote to get him out, it sounds like the percentages are pushing towards him being gone.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Everybody cross your fingers the rest of the day.
Yeah, there's a finger cross emoji in the chat.
County Human Resources investigator. Kubitsky reported Nanos told a large crowd of union members a year ago that he yells at Kevin all the time. And when the two spoke after the meeting, Kubitsky reported Nanos assaulted him. He jabbed him over and.
Holy moly! Like I said, you guys have never heard this stuff. Nanos actually punched. We were talking about boxing. Nanos now punched. This was in 2016.
Over in his shoulder, while the two argued about the union's possible legal action over wage issues.
He told me that if I push forward with the membership and the attorney and filed a lawsuit against the county, that I would be done.
Nanos also sent out a department-wide email singling out Kibitsky as a disruptive force and can no longer work with this office on any labor issue. When the county HR investigator interviewed Nanos, the sheriff said he didn't assault Kibitsky and had apologized to him, but Nanos also admitted that it's inappropriate for anybody to put their hands on anybody. And when the investigator asked Nanos about the disruptive force comment and that county email is a public record, Nanos replied, "I don't care. You get what you get with me." The investigator asked Nanos if he considered county
Not
policies when he
surprising.
sent email messages on a county system. Nanos replied, "I don't consider them at all. I don't even know what those are." The investigator concluded Nanos did not assault Kibitsky, but he did bully him. And then he recommended Nanos ensure compliance with all county policies. 2 superiors reviewed the report and signed it in mid-July, but 3 more signatures were needed, and the report sat for 3 months. Kibitsky sued, claiming the county withheld the documents, and a day before it was released, the deputy county administrator, Tom Burke, wrote he did not concur. And in a memo, he said the investigation was not conducted in a neutral fashion, and the investigator was biased in his line of questioning. In addition to that, Burke didn't believe the county HR department has the authority to investigate complaints against elected officials. Elected officials are not employees of the Board of Supervisors and are not subject to discipline or dismissal by the board. So is that true? We reached out to the county administrator, Chuck Huckleberry, but he would not comment on the complaint. We also reached out to the Pima County Attorney's Office,
So did
the
you hear
civil
that?
legal advisor for the county. They checked into it, but told me there is no public legal opinion on the oversight of elected officials like sheriff, so they can't answer those questions. Elected officials.
Okay, do you see how freaky this is? Like, I don't know, like no one's uncovered this. So this is kind of breaking news. Is this they have tried to get Nanos thrown out before. This exact same process, and this is what happened in 2016, and he's still there and he got reelected. Help it
Wow.
make sense. So like nobody knew about these little underpinnings that even though people think it's because Nancy Guthrie, it has nothing to do with Nancy, even though it's a small piece that might have it has like the media and but they've been trying. And so I gotta replay that because it's pretty what do you think?
I mean, history does repeat itself. I know that you've been trying to tell people for a while how things run, I'll just say it that way. And it's, I don't know, factual evidence. I mean, you're showing that this has repeated again and again in this area, and it's just sad.
Well, and that doesn't even include the immigration stuff, but I'm not gonna go there today. Because Nick Shirley was here in Tucson and as well as James O'Keefe. Do you follow him? James. Okay. Well, you should, but we'll get back to this. This is where he talks about they tried to get him thrown out. It's hard to get an elected official thrown out of office when they're elected.
Not conducted in a neutral fashion, and the investigator was biased in his line of questioning. In addition to that, Burke didn't believe the county HR department has the authority to investigate complaints against elected officials. Elected officials are not employees of the Board of Supervisors and are not subject to discipline or dismissal by the board. So is that true? We reached out to the county administrator, Chuck Huckleberry, but he would not comment on the complaint. We also reached out to the Pima County Attorney's Office, the civil legal advisor for the county. They checked into it, but told me there is no public legal opinion on the oversight of elected officials like sheriff, so they can't answer those questions. So at this point, unlike city police chiefs who must report to city officials, it seems the county sheriff is an elected official constitutionally accountable to the voters, but under no real oversight at all. And we'll continue to investigate and follow the developments. Valerie Cavazos.
So that's why Nanos feels like he's untouchable for the last however many years, because he has been.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
And
That
so
literally same thing.
And so when people are just jumping on like, okay, what he did last week and what he did, you know, a month ago and then 2 months ago, this crap has and then Holly Dasso, like he's never even talked one time about Holly Dasso. Go try to find one statement that Nanos talks about Holly Dasso. And so, but it's so deep that I mean, I'll even, everything in on this show is, our opinions.
Yeah.
We're not, obviously, uh, we're just speculating, but there's lots of skeletons going on in his department. So we will get to the next one. And tell people your channel. While I'm pulling up this next one, what is your channel going to be about? Because and it's called Pretty Little Clues. So what
Yeah,
what is your channel going to be about? And if you guys, I'm going to put the link. If anyone wants to come share their opinion or their channel.
absolutely. So basically, I want it to be tailored around the audience. So if there's anyone out there that has a missing aunt, uncle, brother, sister, niece, nephew, son, daughter, I want them to bring the information, and I want to shed light on the cases that most people either didn't get coverage on or people have long forgotten about, and just look at things that maybe people haven't looked at before, look at things from a different angle. I mean, we'll cover more publicized ones, but I really want to help bring to light. I mean, I've seen in all of the chats, and it's been a recurring theme of different family members that have been in the chat saying, my so and so has been missing since, 2020, 2015. And, I want to give them a voice. So give a voice to the voiceless. That's what I'm trying to do.
Were you watching the other day when I was with the Crime Scene Collective? Alina from Crime Scene Collective.
I don't believe so.
Okay, well she kind of does that too, so she would be someone to talk. I mean, because obviously the YouTube community doing shows together and everybody just and then
Yeah.
everybody can do little side videos of their but yeah, Crime Scene it's scene like SEEN. Um, she said she might come on later, but we have this video next. So anything else with your show? Like how many followers do you have?
Uh, well, 59 when I last checked.
59 followers. So let's see if we can get it up to 100 on this little
Oh, I went from 59 to 76 already. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
59 76. So let's get it to 100 followers to Pretty Little Clues on YouTube. All right, I just put that. So we are I got this a whole bunch of videos, but the old one, some old ones of Nanos but that's kind of where I'm hoping to paint a picture because I know there are some other bigger YouTubers like Brian Inton said he watches my show. I don't know if he watches it live or he, skips through it to the best parts. I don't know.
The
Whatever.
highlights. He looks at the highlight reel.
Yeah, but the main thing is just to give it in perspective of not that I'm better than anyone else, but I just like to help people understand in the Tucson like mind frame how how we are, where how we got to where we are today. And I think I mean a lot of what Inton started reporting and they going after Nanos. I told him that like the third or fourth day. I was like, I pulled him aside and I said, "Look, Brian, dude, this sheriff is, and the politics involved in this city, and And then he said, okay. And then a month later they were on it. Right. So, I mean, who knows if that was the help them look like, because they couldn't figure out why things were being done a certain way. Right. They got out here. They're used to going to all these cases where it's very, transparent, right? And then they come to Nanos and it's like this fight. It's like a boxing match with Nanos. Everybody's trying to box with him, and Nanos is throwing the hooks. But
Yeah. I cannot believe it. I just let you know that I just looked and I already got up to like 108. So I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you so much. And if you guys
nice.
have anything you want me to look at, my email is prettylittleclues.cases@gmail.com. So if you guys want to send me anything you want me to look at, I will look at it. I'll stop plugging myself now. But Nanos, this battle, I mean, I really hope that it's over. I think it's been maybe
Well, it's
in
still
some
going to
ways
be
a
hard.
distraction.
It's still going to be hard because,
Yeah.
see, like that last article we said is to get an elected official thrown out of office. In like out here in Pima County, it's never really happened. So it's we'll see, because today what I think is going to happen, my kind of guess is they're going to vote to take action to get him thrown out, but they can't do that. Like, they can't just go, you're gone, you're fired. They can't do that. So at
You're
that
saying the
point,
board can't do that? I thought they could. I mean, I thought that was the point. Or do you think that they're even gonna put any merit to the fact that he didn't know that it was supposed to be under oath? Because I guarantee you that's his next cop out, which is again a pattern for him.
well, what I think he's going to do is he's going to send in a new I don't think it's going to happen. It could happen is he sends in a new letter addressing what they have said, and then it goes on another month. Like, but if they vote to take him out, I just don't know, like, the laws that they would have to actually follow through with it, because he is accountable to the voters, not to the board. So there would have to be some, I mean, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how it all works, but it would really be hard. But to get this far, like I said, this battle, this match with Nanos and everybody has been going on for so long that they are going to do everything in their power. And if he survives this, then everybody is going to be shocked, I think, because that's why I said I really think he could be fired.
I think he probably will be. I mean, if you look at the statute itself, it does say that the board has the authority for anyone that does not cooperate with their request can be removed and replaced. I mean, it says that. So he can argue with it after the fact. He could sue them after the fact. But I really don't think he has any ground to stand on if that's what they decide. The question is, if they do decide that, who's the second in command there? I mean, who are we looking at replacing him? Because sometimes the grass isn't always greener.
Yeah, no, to me, oh, we got someone coming in from Ohio.
Oh,
But
hi. Oh,
I'll bring them in here in just a minute. Yeah, so here's the thing is they want him gone because they want to replace it with someone that will work with them with the budget, because it all comes back to money. And so I got some emails coming in, but I'm not going to be able to look at them right away, but I see them. So I will get to the emails here soon. But we do have Stubensill. I don't see a name, but welcome in. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. What's your name?
My name is Travis.
Travis, are you in a truck?
Yes, sir. I'm
Oh,
actually sitting in a
nice.
loading dock unloading.
Oh, perfect. Oh
So
man,
I'm
that
sitting
looks
here
like a
watching.
comfy seat.
I'm sitting here watching you while I am waiting on them to get me done.
And where
Nice.
are you? Where are you right now? What state? Ohio.
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida right now.
Is it storming out there? I saw JLR. He was out in some, and he was doing a tornado watch.
Yeah, it's storming on the other side of the coast. Over here, they ain't got nothing but little sprinkles, really. Over
Okay.
there where JR is, they are JRL, I guess it's what he says. It's JLR. I don't know. I can't remember how he says it. Anyway, I don't watch his a lot. I watch yours. But
What?
anyway, he's on the other side of the coast. So from what I've seen on the radar, it was storming over there.
And you're not gonna get any, huh?
No, sir, it's not. Look, they're not giving it out right now. It's pretty cloudy, but like I say, all we've got over here is just more or less sprinkles.
So what's your on your mind today? What are you thinking about Nanos and Nancy Guthrie case? What are you thinking?
Well, on nanos, I believe I said it right. I believe eventually they will put him out. Like you was saying, I don't know if they'll do it today. I hope they do it today. And I'm not even a resident out there. But from everything I've watched, they need to replace him. And I think he's crooked as they come from what I see and understand. But from what I was hearing earlier, though, on what is Tucson News, flipped up on my phone. I watched theirs sometime. After all this, I never really got into all this till all this started. So anyway, all Nancy's stuff started. So they was saying on there earlier that that's probably been 30 minutes. It may have started now. Everyone who's on there said in the next 30 minutes that they would be going into executive session
Yeah.
before the meeting to talk with their lawyers or attorneys uh, about what they could legally do.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying tonight we'll see them talk about it, and they have to publicly vote, I think. So that's why we probably won't see Nanos, but we're gonna see a vote, I think. And if they have a vote, and it might go to the lawyers, right? Something like this usually goes to lawyers. So Nanos is lawyered up. The city, they have their own lawyers. So what I'm thinking is, um, they're gonna present something to Nanos and saying, here, you're gonna either be charged or you can resign. And if he gets to choose, he's gonna get to choose his way out of this, you know, because
Yes, sir.
I think they have him checkmate,
Uh-huh.
checkmate. I think they have him.
Well, he'd be crazy really to not resign because he loses, from what I understand, he loses his pensions and everything if they get rid of him.
Yeah, and he has a lot. I mean, he's been working here doing this racket for a long time, and bully he's a big bully.
Uh-huh.
And to the public, he tries to act like he's this, nice, real together guy. But behind the scenes, you just watch the video. I mean, he was pushing guys or something. He was jabbing people, his
Uh-huh.
own. So
Yes, sir. Well, look like one
Yeah.
ideal I had. I don't understand why they can't. If they can't, I'm rolling this window up. Somebody pulled in here beside me, and their truck's a little loud. Uh, some I don't understand why they can't suspend him until with all the evidence they got against him, until they can make a decision on him. That's what I've been wondering about.
well, we'll find out. Are you gonna watch here today? I'm gonna play this video, and
Yes, sir.
okay, so this is just talking about Nanos kind of under fire. This is like because I want to bring everybody up to where we are today, but then I have a whole bunch of videos from like 10 years ago, so
Yes,
they
sir.
can see how this has been. This is just another play in the chess game, and Nanos might be he might be checkmate here after this. So if you're welcome to stay in and share your opinion after we watch this though.
Okay.
It's Sheriff.
Just mute it while this is playing, just in case someone comes on.
Chris Nanos is coming under some fire, and we've reported on this at.
Now, this is Class E News. So, Class E News, it's called Sheriff Nanos Gets Slammed by Cash Patel. We're just kind of updating to where we're at today, and then I got the older videos I'm going to play.
Length on this channel, and he is facing a lot of criticism, not only from the people right there in Pima County, but now finally the FBI is speaking out against Chris Nanos. I mentioned this to you guys as we were covering what's going on and what was going on with the Nancy Guthrie investigation. I said this to the FBI, to Cash Patel, day one. Day one, they should have distanced themselves from this man, from Sheriff Chris Nanos, and now we've seen the fallout from this entire botched investigation that he conducted. We're going to hear from Cash Patel himself as he spoke out in a recent interview and absolutely slammed Chris Nanos. Not only that, but we're going to hear from some of the people in his own area right there in Pima County who believe he should have been gone a long time ago. Check this out.
It's exactly what I was saying. And this is Class E News. Just kind of updating people where we're at today. See if we can fast forward to the.
About this.
But let's begin this hour with FBI Director Cash Patel criticizing local officials over their handling of the Nancy Guthrie case. It has been more than 3 months, can't believe it, 3 months since Nancy Guthrie vanished from her home in Arizona. Now, the Pima County Sheriff's Office.
Hours of anyone's disappearance are the most critical. The first 48 hours of anyone's disappearance are the most critical.
FBI Director Cash Patel is criticizing the Pima County Sheriff's Department for how it handled the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. In a podcast interview with Sean Hannity Tuesday, Patel says the department waited too long to get the FBI involved.
What we, the FBI, do is say, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? What can we do?
And there again, the FBI.
And that's kind of what I was saying is, even though like it seemed like random that Cash Patel made that statement, right? Like, oh, he just made a statement randomly out of the blue. No, this has been going on. And now this is another chess piece that the FBI threw forward, and they had the top guy, Cash Patel, because they've been dealing with Nanos for 15 years. Fights too, not just normal, I mean literal fights where Nanos. We're going to go into the RICO funds. You heard about the RICO funds?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but it'd be nice to work somewhere where you could punch your coworkers and get away with it. Just saying.
Right. Yeah. And he's had, I'm sure there's so many people that never spoke up too, because
oh yeah,
their whole family is connected to it. Their livelihood, the way that they make money. So he it's almost like a cult director there, right? And then you got these
rule
people
by fear. It's ruling by fear. It's not.
Yeah.
I was backing Sheriff Nanos at the beginning, and they were saying, oh, we're all in this together. Or let me rephrase that. We heard from Sheriff Nanos that, the FBI was involved. We were working on this together. Since the very beginning, we worked with the FBI. We saw the truth. We knew that wasn't true. And the FBI just went along with it and said, hey, whatever they need, we're going to be here for them, when they should have distanced themselves from the very beginning. And now we're here. Cash Patel, the director of the FBI, just absolutely slamming this guy.
FBI involved.
What we, the FBI, do is say, hey, we're here to help. What do you need? What can we do? And for 4 days, we were kept out of the investigation.
The Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos disputed Patel's comments, posting on X that a member of the FBI task force was on the scene the night Guthrie was reported missing, and coordination with the Bureau began without delay.
That's a lie again.
And that's the thing, is he keeps contradicting exactly what the FBI is saying. And then even though the FBI is not going to lie, they would know if they were included or not included. That's their whole position, is to be in the know. Nanos's department is in disarray. I don't think it's to any of the employees. Like, I'm not trying to like throw any employee at the sheriff's under the bus. It's because of Nanos's leadership.
And
Well, and what reason does the FBI have to lie? They have nothing to lose by lying. Nanos does. Nanos is trying to cover his ASS to keep it family friendly so that, people aren't coming after him. He's like, oh, no, no, no. I didn't, nope. Or I didn't say that. Or yes, we did. FBI has no reason to lie. I'll leave it at that.
Well, and Nanos, he thinks he's untouchable. They have been trying to get him thrown out for 15 years. Like, I have a whole bunch of videos we're gonna watch if I can get there. Hopefully, I will get there. We got time. And they're not long. They're just short little but different people, not just one. I mean, there's probably 10 people that have literally went toe to toe with Nanos, and he survives every time. And after this we'll go watch it. But here is a link to come on.
because
Welcome in Alex from Criminal Network. Thanks for joining.
we know who was running the show then. That's why we didn't see the FBI involved initially. Sheriff Nanos, he wanted to do his thing. The FBI stepped in and said, you guys are absolutely messing this up. That's why they had to shut down the crime scene, and then they opened it back up. Why? Because Sheriff Nanos was running the show. The FBI said, now we got to start over. And they got involved and took over.
The mother of Today's Show host, Savannah Guthrie, was reported missing on February 1st.
The FBI is
All right,
working
we're gonna-
alongside the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
2 days later, the
Alongside.
Pima County Sheriff's Department held a joint news conference with the FBI.
When we were finally let in, Sean, look what we did. We went in and got the Ring doorbell.
Yep.
And we said, hey, is anyone talking to Google?
Patel says he spoke with Google leadership and within days received these chilling images of a suspect outside of Guthrie's home.
That is pretty harsh criticism. It's unusual if the FBI is offering assistance in such a high-profile case that they would be kept away from.
And that's the thing, is it seems so odd, but it's so normal in Sheriff Nanos's world. Anything with the FBI, he wants to it's a boxing match. He's back to boxing, right? I mean, he acts like he wants to work with them, but it's not like it should be. But we are going to fast forward just to this part right here where kind of gets to where we're at today. And then we'll go back to his past, because some of these older videos when he's like 20 years younger, I mean, we all look, different, obviously, but it's interesting to see.
The Arizona sheriff at the center of the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie is facing new scrutiny, this time with local leaders. At least 2 Pima County supervisors plan to file a motion to have Sheriff Chris Nanos' office vacated if he doesn't step down by Tuesday. They allege Nanos lied under oath during a deposition for an unrelated lawsuit when he did.
And this is Class E News. This is deadline day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, share it out. If you can, send any supers or stickers, gems or something. I think there's new gems they have out. And we do have Justine. And what was your first name again, Stubens?
My name's Travis.
Travis.
I'm from Steubenville, Ohio. I just typed in the.
Oh, okay, Travis. Well, what do you think so far of when Kaz Patel went after him?
I love that myself. That he went after him because somebody needed to go after him. Because in my opinion, and from what I've seen, he does not desire to work with the FBI at all. And like one of the ones I seen on somebody's, I think it was Brian's. He was interviewing. Sounded like he pretty much was pushed into letting them be a part of it. And which, like that guy said, he should have turned it over to the FBI from the beginning. They would have been a lot further than they are today, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of where once you see these older videos, maybe you don't, maybe you know about all his past, but he's got quite the past of
I watched the videos when I ain't in the dead area at your own. I've watched your videos and stuff on there. But I'm not so sure that if they ever find the perp, that they could use any evidence they got out of the house because of Nanas letting everybody tromp all over everything outside and inside from the beginning.
Well, and that's where Nanos, he does not even
Well, that's just my opinion.
yeah, he wasn't even in charge of the scene. He's literally like the spokesperson, and he's not doing a good job, obviously. And so the scene is the supervisor, like the deputy supervisor. And so
I think I
the
lost
case,
you. I ain't got no sound.
well, come back in. We got Lee in the chat. I'm gonna pull you out, but if you want to come back, feel free. If you're having a trouble with the sound, can you hear me?
I can hear
Okay.
you. But I'm going to take this
Okay.
opportunity. I have to dip out of here for a little while. I got to go. But thank you for having me on. Thank you to everyone who
All right.
subscribed. You guys are phenomenal. And I'll check you later. Maybe I'll join later.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a
See you
good day.
later.
Bye. All right. So we do have, thank you, Alex, for the support. I appreciate it. And we got Wheezy, Chet, DG, Society, Green Cat. I'm way behind on the chat. Way behind. Diana. Now, this is, people are saying they're back in session. If anybody wants to, I mean, I don't think they're talking about this, but I don't think they're going at 5 p.m. is when they're going to do the Nanos talk. From what I heard, and I have kind of inside people that are going to this live today that for whatever reason they were told to go at 5 p.m. tonight. Man, I am way behind the chat. Lady Liberty, hello, Susie, Hiker Girl. Walter Nash, I remember that name. Barbara, welcome in. Man, I am way behind on the chat. Appreciate. And who we have, Jody becoming a member. Thank you. Members make the world go round. Thank you, Jody. And Lee, we have Lee ready in the queue. Pull you in here in just a second, Lee. We're going to finish watching this. We'll bring Lee in after we finish watching this, just so she can watch this and then react. So here we go.
Being suspended during his years as a police officer in El Paso
Come
before
on,
he joined
man.
the Pima County Sheriff's Department in the 1980s.
A unanimous vote of the disciplinary board at that time for a whole host of problems said, hey, he can't be a cop anymore. He's just bad at this. He's not upholding our standards. He's got to go.
CBS News
How does
obtained
this
the El
happen?
Paso Police Department records, which show Nanos was suspended several times for a number of alleged infractions, including, quote, unnecessary violence and tardiness.
He has definitely lost the confidence of the community. He's embarrassed himself, and it's time for him to go.
An attorney for Nanos responded in a letter saying, quote, Sheriff Nanos did not understand the question related to discipline with a different agency. Sheriff Nanos spotted his misunderstanding and promptly notified his attorney. The
He
news
said,
comes
hey,
just
I didn't know what you were asking, so I went back and fixed it, guys. Man,
his misunderstanding.
so now
and
he's inept
promptly
or a liar?
notified his
Which one?
attorney. The news comes just days after Nanos faced criticism over his handling of the Nancy Guthrie case from FBI Director Kash Patel, who claimed the department took too long to get.
All right, we got Lee in the chat. Looks like this one's wrapping up, but I do have a long list of older videos. I think you're going to find some of them are hilarious just to see Nanos. So we'll pull those up right now, but welcome in, Lee. Welcome. Can you hear me, Lee?
Can you
Welcome
hear me?
back. Yes.
Hi, 857. Yeah, it's kind of, I understand that he lied on his resume, but that tells me that they didn't verify him. Well, wouldn't be
Yeah.
that person who was supposed who did the verification should have, you know, should be in trouble too, I would think. Maybe it was politics. That's probably why he got away with it. Bribery, maybe.
Well, what happened is he moved here. It was like in the 80s when things were done a little differently across all America. Everything was really just a different world, right? And then you fast forward to the modern age now, and a lot of the hiring practices and the atmosphere of the police stations back in the 70s, the 80s, and even like 90s and even today, but it's better. But back in the 80s, it used to be like a very like good old boys network, right? And so, Nanos, yeah, he kind of ran it like he's the top sheriff in town, the bully, and that's kind of been the personality of his department. And then now we're at the head today. Um, but I do have some of these old videos. Do you have anything to say before we jump into these videos?
Yes, there are only two choices. He either resigns or they fire him, or does he get the opportunity to get an appeal? It's kind of ridiculous that they had him on the last, I would assume, is it assigned on the last board meeting tonight?
So what's going to happen is if they vote, okay, because this is like new territory for them, right? So they don't even know if they have the ability to get him thrown out because he's an elected official. So basically, if they vote, right, which I think we all think they're going to vote to um, start the process, right? It's not actually like you're gone, right? Because they got to start the process. Whatever that process is, I don't know exactly because it has to do with all kinds of laws and jurisdictions as far as who certifies the sheriff, right? And the sheriff is an elected official. So that's kind of like getting any elected official thrown out of office is hard, right? Like once they get that office, they're kind of above whatever uh you know ability to get thrown out. It's hard, right? So what could happen is that it'll drag on longer,
Oh
meaning
my gosh.
oh yeah,
So
oh yeah. And
annoying.
so let's check the poll. Did you vote in the poll? What did you
Yeah, I
vote?
did. That he'd be fired.
Oh wow, we're at 48% yes.
Because he should be announcing today that he's resigning, or before today, right? Or he has a chance to include today to say, I'm resigning.
Well, what could happen, and what could happen is yes, he could like because last time he sent his response in 20 minutes before the meeting. Do you remember that?
Without a note,
Yeah.
without making a
So he
note.
could do that again. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's like extending it, like as much
but
distraction as he can.
he might resign after today because if they vote to say, okay, hey, we voted that we want you thrown out and we're gonna file a criminal investigation on you, right? And if he decides, hey, well, I'm gonna fight that, then that's the fight. And then if he decides that he wants to not fight, then he will just resign.
Okay, so he can wait what the board thinks, that they're thinking, okay, we're gonna have to fire you, but it's not too late for him to say later today that, okay, I'm just gonna resign then.
We I
In a
mean, you
nutshell.
saw the boxing photo of him or article. He doesn't give up. And the only thing that's going to make him give up is if he has maybe criminal allegations against him and because they do have some stuff on him. And there's probably lots of stuff that hasn't even come out that could come out if he chooses to fight. I mean, I know for a fact there is. So, like I said, I think it all comes down to everybody has lawyers, right? So the
Yeah.
city, they have their own lawyers. Um, and then Nanos has his own lawyers. So it's gonna come down to you know, what I think is the supervisors are gonna send a message saying we demand that you resign, or this is gonna happen. And if Nanos, it's gonna be in Nanos's court. And then Nanos is either gonna
By that.
wait, hold on real quick.
There's a voting. I mean, the board has 5 people. Are those the 5 people the only ones that are going to make the decision there? Because I noticed there's 2 out of 5. 2 are for sure want him out, and 2. I think there's one who's undecided, and the other 2, I can't remember what it is. So
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a lot of friends in the city supervisors. Even the one Republican is against him. So,
cool.
I
Well,
mean, now Nanos is a Democrat by, so he's really helped them too by staying quiet when if it was a different politically voted sheriff would have probably spoke up and handled things differently. So it's complicated, but what I'm gonna go
okay.
ahead and play
I'll
this
wait.
video. Do
Yeah.
you have
No, I
anything
don't have
else?
any further questions for now. I'm going to mute myself, and
Okay.
I have
Well,
issues off and on the computer, so excuse me if I disappear.
well, we are going to go to these videos, so you'll see a whole bunch of his old stories. I mean, these stories there's so many. So here's another one, but I'm gonna just mute you so they can hear it, and feel free to come back in. All right, so we are back. This is Sean Mooney. He used to work for the WWE, and now he's been a newscaster for local news for years. But we are going to do that t-shirt giveaway, so stay tuned. We're going to do that maybe in about 10-15 minutes. See if we can get the numbers up to 1,500. We're almost there. 1,500 viewers, and we're going to do it no matter what. But if we can do that, we're going to do it. So this is Sean Mooney. This is from 2025. So I'm kind of starting 2025, and then there's a couple in like 2023. I got them all the way back to 2016.
A lawsuit has been filed against Pima County, the Sheriff's Department, and Sheriff Chris Nanos for allegedly failing to comply with Arizona's public records law. The lawsuit demands transparency regarding the department's communications with federal immigration authorities. According to the American Civil Liberties Union of Arizona, PCSD has not produced any records in response to a public records request submitted more than 2 months ago on May 14th. This request sought documentation related to PCSD's compliance with PCSD General Order 2025-001, which mandates tracking communications with federal immigration authorities. The ACLU of Arizona claims that PCSD amended its rules to eliminate the requirement for tracking such communications shortly after receiving the records request. We have reached out to the Pima County Sheriff's Department for a statement and are waiting to hear back. We will bring you the very latest as it comes in to our news.
All right, we're going to go through a couple of these faster now, a couple of them faster. Let's check the poll. The poll was doing, it looks like it was pretty close. We're at 48%. It's pretty close, I would say, to yes, he will get fired today. 33% no, and then we got an undecided. We almost 1372 voted. Thanks for voting. And Positive Puma sent a high five. I missed some of them. the jewels and stuff. So thank you for sending those. Can anyone see my messages? What's up, Thomas? What's up, Thomas? I see your messages. Let's see, we'll read some of these comments. Do you see what Nano said to the assessor? Yeah, wait till we go into the next one. Let's go into the next one. Let's see here. Okay, here, look at how old this one is. This is from 9 years ago. Now, this is Sheriff Nanos responds to the first time since his chief deputy was indicted. His chief deputy. This isn't just some normal. This is his chief deputy. Sure, everything's looking good on the screen. Boom. All right, here we go. This is 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
County Sheriff Chris Nanos responding publicly for the first time since his chief deputy was indicted.
Chief deputy.
As you all know, recent events have shaken this organization to its core.
This follows our story last week on the whistleblowers who prompted an FBI investigation into how the sheriff's department uses RICO funds, money seized from criminals. 9 News Side investigative reporter Valerie Cavazos has been following the story. She joins us live with the very latest. Val.
Yeah, Sheriff Chris Nanos read from a script, and he would not take any questions from the media. He split the statements into two parts. Now, first, he said he would conduct a comprehensive review of all procedures. He says mistakes may have been made, and this has been a learning process for him.
Well, you see what's the pattern of that is he has no problem admitting mistakes have been made in the past. And now with Nancy's case, mistakes have been made because he knows nothing is going to be held accountable, even with this.
I will be meeting with each and every commander within this organization. I will take the time necessary to explain to the extent I understand and am able to disclose, and how and why recent events came to be. I cannot and will not tarnish this office that's been trusted to me. Nor will I allow, without consequence, anyone else to do the same.
This comes just a week after our investigation into the FBI probe. Multiple whistleblowers came forward about problems with senior command. The focus on the FBI investigation. Sheriff Nanos, former Chief of Staff Brad Gagnapain, who just months ago committed suicide, and Chief Deputy Chris Radke, now indicted for misuse of RICO funds, monies that should be used to fight crime. But instead, hundreds of thousands of dollars may have been moved to another account for years and may have been used to pay for annual awards, banquets, kitchen equipment and furniture. Now, we've also, in the second half of the statement, he blasted Dr. Richard Carmona, the primary whistleblower in the FBI investigation, calling the allegations blatant lies. Now, however, we've spoken to a number of insiders who back up Carmona's claims. Now, we just got this just in. This is the indictment, Chris Radke's, the chief deputy's indictment from the FBI. So it's being made public for the first time. Now I'm reading a little into this, and this is a very key part of this. The defendant and others known and unknown to the grand jury conspired to make it appear that the forfeiture funds were being used by the SAV by using SAV checks and the SAV credit card for to pay for items that were actually purchased for the sheriff's office and individuals affiliated with the defendant. The
Sheriff knew this was going on. He knew that the RICO funds, the money that the sheriff got from that was confiscated from drug these kinds of things, these incidents, was being misused, I should say, being misused. And he still kept his position and got reelected after suspending the person he was running against.
SAV is the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteers. It's a nonprofit entity. Now, the following are examples of approximately $500,000 of financial transactions affecting interstate and foreign commerce that were designed in whole or in part to conceal and disguise the nature, location, source, ownership, and control of the proceeds of unspecified unlawful activity. And then there's details that follow this. Again, this is just in. We were not able to ask Nanos any questions, and it was before this press conference was before this indictment was made available to the public. We'll have much more coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting from the Sheriff's Department, Valerie Cavazos, KGA 9 on your side.
All right, so you guys are hearing about the RICO funds investigation. There's more. There's more.
That was
There
10
is
years
more.
ago?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This has been going on. You guys are getting to the ending of this is like the final battle, the final countdown, the final
Yes.
battle.
In a sense,
Now,
there was a good and bad about, unfortunately, it had to happen in Nancy Guthrie's case. It
well, that's why
opened
this
up
is,
an
yeah,
issue
you're
on
right.
him. Yeah.
Exactly. That was like the final straw because it made the whole county look bad, right? I mean, how many people are embarrassed now because of the way, and then everything else is coming out now? I mean, it's embarrassing for the elected officials too, because it kind of makes them look bad, right? But just so people know, we are monitoring this meeting. It's going on. They're just talking about budget stuff, so nothing exciting, I promise you. But go to another older one.
When did Nanos started as a sheriff?
I have to Google that, but this is his third term, I think.
Goodness.
So this is from 1 year ago, and this is about a federal lawsuit has been served. I don't know if it's the same. No, this is when Lappin sued him, because now he has lawsuits. He has multiple lawsuits. One of them, Heather Lappin, but this is now we're bouncing back and forth, like 10 years ago. This is from a year ago.
To put his political rival and one of their supporters, Pima County Sheriff's decision to put his political rival and one of their supporters on administrative leave could soon be heading to a federal courtroom.
Tonight, News 4 Tucson has learned Sheriff Chris Nanos has just been served with a federal lawsuit. Lieutenant Heather Lappin and Sergeant Aaron Cross were both placed on leave earlier this week after the sheriff accused Cross of campaigning in an outfit that he claims closely resembled a department uniform, and that Lappin allegedly colluded with a local reporter to pay for an interview with an inmate.
News 4 Tucson's chief investigative reporter, Corus Nylander, is live right now outside the Pima County Sheriff's Department headquarters on the south side with more on this developing story that has become very controversial now. Corus.
Sean, this is a copy of that federal lawsuit just filed against Sheriff Nanos, accusing him of violating Sergeant Aaron Cross's civil rights when he chose to place him on administrative leave.
It is unprecedented from my experience doing this, and I've been doing this for quite a while, to have a candidate for election being actually silenced by their political opponent.
Steve Serbalik is an attorney for AZ Cops, which represents thousands of law enforcement officers across the state. He also represents Lieutenant Heather Lappin and Sergeant Aaron Cross, who are both just placed on administrative leave by Sheriff Chris Nanos.
Right before an election.
Serbalik just filed this federal civil lawsuit against Nanos, accusing him of violating Cross's civil rights. The sheriff's office says Cross was campaigning for Lappin in an outfit that could be misconstrued as his department uniform. He was told by his supervisors to stop, but they claim he did it again Monday.
So that's how silly this is he literally was, because they said, see this outfit, Lee, if you're still in here, see this outfit.
Yes.
That's the outfit that they said that it was a sheriff's deputy outfit. Do you see anything on there that says
There's
sheriff?
no logo on the shirt.
So, but
Right.
that's why he got suspended, is because they said he was campaigning in a sheriff's outfit.
That's him?
That's not Nanos.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
That's Aaron Cross. And
Oh,
after he
okay.
got filmed in this photo, he got suspended.
Oh,
But now he's on that desk job. You remember he's sitting in the desk
yeah.
job. But this is talking about they filed a federal lawsuit against Nanos for what he did.
Serbalik says this outfit was completely owned by Cross.
Of course, you or I could have gone to the protest and worn the exact same outfit, and we're not impersonating a police officer or peace officer in any way, shape, or form. We have the constitutional right to wear what we want when we're off duty.
Lapid is not named in this lawsuit, but was accused of knowing about the issue with Cross and further accused of colluding with a local reporter to pay an inmate for an interview.
They haven't done anything wrong, but they are using this to essentially silence me.
News 4 Tucson reached out to Nanos about the lawsuit in a text message. He said he never comments on pending litigation. Cross and Lapin are bound by a gag order preventing them from addressing the accusations directly. Serbalik wants that lifted. As people are already voting for the upcoming election, he feels irreparable damage is being caused.
And that goes against everything that we think the Constitution stands for, and we look forward to getting this resolved in court.
And I asked Serbalik.
And that's what I think is going to happen after today. If they vote, it's going to go to the lawyers. And what's going to happen is Nanos is going to get presented with, here, buddy, take your choice. Do you want to fight? And they're going to let him know if they have a case to keep him or not keep him. And then he's going to have a choice, or they're going to basically tell him, hey, buddy, you're checkmate. You got to resign. And at this position, he's got to trust his lawyers. He can't, it's out of his hands at this point.
If he's fired, will he lose his benefits?
See, there's so many different little, depends, but most likely whatever decision that he's going to do, he is going to try to keep those. So that's probably going to go weighing into his decision. And if they dangle out there like, hey, if you lose the case, because what will happen is it'll probably go to a judge if he fights it, right? And the judge will have to decide. I don't know.
I understand.
Maybe we got some law people in the chat, or someone's.
I wonder if his people, like the first few days of the investigation and Nancy, if they did not make that effort, maybe purposely to make him look bad, meaning it's really all up to the leadership to, keeping an eye on his people. So the people didn't make their effort, and that's the only way to open up doors to him being a problematic sheriff. I wonder.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna do my job because he's such a bad boss. He's not keeping an eye on his people. It's all,
Well, here's the
abuse,
thing
I
is
guess.
a lot of the deputies are great people. They work hard. I mean, they try to not get the politics of it involved, right? So I really think it really comes down to there's so many deputies that Nanos only has an inner circle. Imagine this might be a funny analogy, but Vladimir Putin, right?
Yeah.
He probably only has 5 people that he talks to, and then they go tell everybody else, right? That's, if I couldn't take a guess on how it is Nanos is just he's circled around by yes people that are bowing down to him, and that's the way it's always been.
I know.
So thank you, Binky Files. Love your local insight and this footage. Thank you. And also, Reyes 2291 praying for integrity to ruler today, not politics. And that's it. That's where Matt Hines has really been calling out the integrity of just how it looks bad on everybody here. But let's check the chat and trying to figure out how to do this. I got somebody in the chat. If you're in the chat and you sent me a email and you want a link, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I haven't figured out how to do that. Okay, we're gonna get back to the show, and we're countdown about an hour and a half away until the actual meeting where you're gonna hear them vote. You're gonna hear them vote. This is Corus Nylander. He's one of my favorite reporters, but he unfortunately moved. Me and him were kind of the ones that were really bringing some stuff to light. But here he is, Corus Nylander, Channel 4.
Expect to see a similar lawsuit filed on behalf of Heather Lappin. He says it's certainly a possibility, but they handle these things on a case-by-case basis. Not ready at this point to make any such determination. We'll keep you updated as this situation bound to have more developments here. As you mentioned, very big, controversial, contentious issue moving forward. We're live from the Pima County Sheriff's Department tonight. Corus Nylander, News 4 Tucson.
All right.
Held his
So the
hand, not
next
physically
one.
held his hand, but I sat and I tried to be.
We're going to move the next one. And we are watching the meeting. Nothing's happening on the meeting at all. So this is now a different incident where Nanos was in trouble for overspending. I don't know if this is the RICO one, but it's funny to watch him in these old videos because you can see how he acted in Nancy's case, and then how he sent it to, or how he acts now and in the past. Sorry, I'm multi-thinking. Ready? Here we go.
He's just a script guy.
Yeah.
Firing back after the FBI investigating the sheriff's department over spending. This comes after an article published by the Arizona Daily Star says the department spent funds seized in drug investigations on a cafe for employees at the sheriff's department headquarters.
Am I upset at the FBI? Absolutely.
Boom. Am I upset at the FBI? Now, this was 10 years ago, everybody. So you guys, what we're seeing today play out with the Nancy Guthrie case is going on 10 plus years. Let's just listen to that one more time. Yeah, I mean.
Am I upset at the FBI? Absolutely. They should be. They get by with saying no comment. Who does that in today's world? Who does that?
Oh my gosh. He says no comment about Nancy's case how many times? He has nothing.
Yet they get by with that. And when this thing's all resolved and the case is all over, I challenge him. I challenge Mr. Black to stand up to that camera by himself and say, we have looked at this investigation and we have exonerated, completely find this investigation to be total BS.
Sheriff Nanos explains why he built the cafe so close for his employees at the jail.
How do we get it filled? It's not easy to get somebody in here because you have to, first of all, have a background. But when Chris said, you know, I could get my niece, she does a catering service, she'll come in here and charge us nothing. I thought, well, we don't want any money for it. I didn't want to make money on the deal. I just wanted to give my employees something cheap, a decent meal. You see where we're at. You got 20 minutes to get to a restaurant and back and have your food done. Some places it's not possible. The heck with this preliminary investigation. Why are you doing a preliminary investigation? I want the FBI to send this case, take it away from the director here. He's already showed his bias. He is biased on this case. He's already done that. He's shown it. And I'd like them to take it away from here, send it to Phoenix, send it to Washington, D.C., and start a full-blown investigation.
Sheriff Nano says that if
Wow,
the
you
FBI
see how
does
mad
find
he
any
is? Jeez.
He always have hated the FBI. Is it because his reasons he don't want to be questioned of what he's done in the past at the Texas when he was young? Or the kind of
No,
wonder.
nobody knew about that. That's all new stuff that's come out. That's what's crazy
Oh,
about this is you know, this is what you're seeing is this has been playing out for obviously a decade, and now we're at the peak where um they're actually gonna try, because before they tried and they failed. They literally tried to get him thrown out and they couldn't. So we're just going through these old ones. This one is an old one too, from 9 years ago. You're missing. He responds publicly again. So this is his thing. As he goes on and he goes and he acts all, um, you know, like he's the best ever. Here we go, another Nanos.
$1 million. That is the amount Chief Deputy Chris Radke is accused of money laundering. The FBI released the indictment late this afternoon after Sheriff Chris Nanos held a news conference on the allegations.
This follows our story last week on the whistleblowers who prompted an FBI investigation.
Oh, do we
into
watch this
how
one?
The sheriff's department uses
I
RICO.
think we watched this one, but basically they use the RICO funds. All right. I am just pulling up the next one, but let's check the chat. And where are you signing in? What state are you from, Lee?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Well, we do have Alina in here. We're going to bring Alina in just a minute. Give her a couple minutes to get ready. And I have a whole bunch of videos that I'm trying to get in order on the poll. Looks like the poll is still going.
I wonder what happened in that 10 years ago then. They had discovered the funds were not allocated correctly 2 years ago. If that was ever resolved or...
No, it pretty much just went away. It pretty much nothing was really, no action was taken. But this next video is pretty eye-opening, because this guy, my computer is, there it is. Okay, so this guy, Sheriff Napier, was the former sheriff before Nanos, and he is now running for mayor of Oro Valley. And so Sheriff Napier, we're gonna go watch this, but this guy is like, he's like a top dog.
Information tonight into the KEGA 9-year side ongoing investigation by our own Valerie Cavazos into misuse of RICO funds at the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
Moments ago, Sheriff Mark Napier announced he is requesting a state investigation into possible wrongdoing. This comes after former Chief Deputy Chris Radke admitted in federal court he played a part in a money laundering scheme that spanned nearly 2 decades. In a statement today, Napier said in part, after extensively conferring with the FBI, obtaining legal advice, and doing considerable research, it appears there may be another avenue available that could be explored. The doctrine of dual sovereignty would allow for the review of this matter from a state perspective to determine whether state laws had been violated with respect to this conduct. This review would allow us to put to rest any additional speculation regarding dispensation of the matter and ensure public confidence in the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Additionally, we could confidently declare that we exhausted every avenue available to us.
And of course, we will continue to follow this investigation. You can go to.
All right, we are going through the next one is, and let's bring in Alina. Welcome in, Alina. Crime Scene Collective, welcome in.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, we're Nanos Watch, and we're about an hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
Exciting. So what do you think's going to happen today?
well, I think they're gonna vote, and then nothing happens quickly in city government at all. So I think it's gonna be like wait and see. But what I think is it's gonna come down to lawyers.
Yeah.
And then the lawyers are going to present different things based on what they know and what they think is the law, right? Because there is some squishy parts about this being like it's not easy to get someone thrown out of office, especially when they're elected. So
Right.
everybody give her a
Hi,
follow.
Sheila.
Crime Scene Collective. And
Oh my gosh, is that Sheila that I met in the street? I can't see, but
I think so.
oh my
But
gosh.
give her a follow, Sheila. If you met her in the street, it's a small world. Lori, thank you guys. We are going to be doing a t-shirt giveaway here very shortly. The signatures is a whole separate thing. So that's still going on, but that's a whole nother thing too. Even if they get the signatures, it's not complete. It's an uphill battle for that. I'll just put it that
Yeah.
way. So
I saw here in one of your comments, somebody mentioned Gabby Hampton. I heard United Cajun Navy is now active in Nancy's case, trying to find the source. So I invited Mr. Josh Gill to my group, and he's in there now. And so that question is on there in the group, and hopefully he'll answer and give us clarity on whether that that post is true or not. And hopefully in the next hour or so he'll make a comment on that, and I'll let you guys know if he does.
oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, what do you think is going to happen today?
I mean, exactly what you said. I think he's going to try to, I mean, like you said, it's going to get a little bit more political with the lawyers and all that. And I think it's going to get delayed, even if the vote does go in the direction of removing Nanos. I think all of the, that's when they're going to get all the lawyers involved to delay it as much as possible to kind of find the loopholes to keep him, in his position as long as he can possibly remain in that position. He's going to try everything. He's going to pull everything he possibly can and call in whatever favors he can. He's going to do whatever he can. Why not? I would too. If this was your career and your job and what you keep the lights on with and feed your family with, wouldn't you too? Like he's got to fight for his career at this point, because what's his alternative? What happens if he does get removed? What's his next step? Does he still receive his pension? Like, is everything going to be okay? Does it just bring him a little bit closer to retirement?
He's doing well, but yeah, obviously he's going to have to probably make the final decision of, like I said a minute ago, is he going to fight with his lawyers, right? Because he has lawyers that are provided to him by the sheriffs. And then the supervisors have their own lawyers.
Right.
And so it's going to come down to they're going to present what they have on him, right? It's just like any case, like in the court of law.
Right.
Like when you have a plea deal, like, okay, here's what we got on you. If you want to take the plea, okay, well then, you'll get off a little easier, right? And you can just go away and do what we ask.
Look, I'm the last person you want to talk about pleas with, okay? I worked on the Koberger case. That's a very touchy subject with me.
Okay. Well,
I'm just, you know what I mean? It's just, but I get what you mean. Yeah. But that's not always the case. But yeah, that's the direction that they're going to move with this. And I definitely understand what you mean. But yeah, and somebody was saying he should retire, and hopefully he will. But again, I don't know the steps. Somebody also mentioned the pension. I don't know that's something that I would be curious to know. How does this affect his pension? Does it? You know, can he
Well,
still
if he
receive it the same way?
if he resigns, he'll be able to keep it, right?
Mhm.
If he gets thrown out because there's a criminal investigation because he broke laws, right? Then
Right.
it's just like anything where if they find him guilty, um then he probably won't have that pension. But he will probably try to fight it as much as possible, but he might be checkmated. He might be checked because like I've been showing you for 10 years. Here's another one we're gonna watch.
Okay.
This was
What do you mean
from
by checkmated?
checkmating, meaning he has no other moves to other than to resign.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be great.
So let's actually let me. So he also had an incident where a deputy was involved in an SA incident, and he covered for that deputy. And I don't know enough to speak on it other than here's a news report about it.
Sexual assault of a Pima County Sheriff's Department deputy last December.
But here we go.
A turn of events in the sexual assault of a Pima County Sheriff's Department deputy last December, sergeant, I should say. The man indicted is facing charges. An organization now representing deputies wants an investigation into how investigators handled the case from the start. I sat down with Sheriff Chris Nanos to get some answers and talked with one of the deputies wanting an investigation to take place. In a letter sent out to the media from a group called the Pima County Deputies Organization, they're asking Sheriff Chris Nanos to investigate how his deputies handled the reported sexual assault involving two of their own personnel. In the letter, it says PCSD refused to intervene for over 80 minutes while the victim was being sexually assaulted by her sergeant at a house. Meanwhile, Nanos says his deputies did everything they could to help the victim and maintains internal investigations are done after criminal ones.
And so Nanos literally is alleged to cover up SA thing that happened at a party. This was at a party.
Wow.
And because I mean, I don't know, I'm just speculating because he knew the people that were involved. He tried to protect them, and this was a big thing in Tucson.
The lieutenant stood outside the residence for over 60 minutes. I heard it was 80 minutes before the deputy actually called 911. And I'm sure it was very frustrating for him because he probably felt like someone should do something. But after a while, he finally called 911.
Sheriff Nanos says he had immediately terminated Ricky Garcia that morning after hearing about the sexual assault arrest. As for an investigation into how his deputies handled it or if they took too long to take action, he says he didn't get the complaint asking to look into the ones responding until 8 months later.
So they fired the guy that was exactly. That's why everything in this, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much, but there's an internal investigation unit and that runs the Pima County Sheriff, right? They investigate themselves. And so just there could be some things that happen there when you're investigating your own people, right? And so investigation, they fired the guy, but the people who kind of were trying to cover up what happened, I don't want to say cover up, but they weren't forthcoming like they needed to be. And then Nanos didn't even find out until 8 months later. That seems contrived.
Later.
You think about the deputy who got the call, 911 call, young deputy, and he gets there and he goes, "Oh my goodness, this is the president of the association. This is
That's deflection.
Sergeant in my department. This is involving other employees, my partners. I think I'm going to call my sergeant, his chain," and he does. And the sergeant runs out there and goes, "Wow, this is a mess. I'm calling my lieutenant."
Nanos admitting.
Geez, so imagine that, like the top people were involved in this, and Nanos still got elected after all this.
Right. And he's literally deflecting right there. He should be sitting there and taking full responsibility and literally eating, crap, like taking, putting it on his shoulders and then promising his community to do better,
No, it's all about protecting the insiders.
Yeah.
Can be slow, but maintains his deputies did nothing wrong.
I think any victim deserves the right to know, especially when she's working for a department that maintains high ethical and moral standards. I would expect that she would suspect that she could get some help in determining what happened and why she wasn't helped. And I think that's all she wants.
Ricky Garcia, the sergeant being charged with sexual assault, is set to appear in court in 2 months. Attorney
And I think he got acquitted. I don't know if someone wants to look that up. Can Google Ricky Garcia? That's his name. I think the case got like, I don't know. I don't want to even talk about. I don't know what happened, but it was like a big thing with.
Wow.
So
By the way,
next thing-
hi Alina. I don't
Hi.
think she heard me earlier. I didn't
Oh
realize
no,
I had
how
a
are you?
mute
Nice to
problem.
meet you. I don't know if we've met before.
No, I don't think so. I'm off and on. I just started chatting maybe yesterday, 2 days ago.
Well, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'll be on for a little bit. I gotta get dinner and all that
Same, off and
situated
on.
for my family.
So this is from. I did this video, so I can actually claim this. I did this video 1 year ago, and this is a formal. I did this video, which is kind of like just showing you how I've been covering Nanos and his shenanigans. It's a former employee. This is the Pima County Sheriff has come forward with serious concerns regarding Sheriff Nanos's actions, describing him as typical of his behavior. So he filed, and this is somebody that's not the same people we've been hearing from, like Aaron Cross, or this is somebody completely new. So here we go. And this is in a public meeting, and it's kind of funky in the way it is set up, but I don't know why it's like that. Maybe I can make it bigger.
But
Nope.
just imagine how many people who were either kidnapped or some kind of case could have been saved if he were taken out as a sheriff in the early stages. Because I've seen Jim searching, and he
Right.
sees all this, maybe people who've been kidnapped or dead or killed and left some clothing, skeleton,
Yep.
bones.
Well, listen to this deputy. He talks about exactly what you're saying is Nanos basically just the way he treats people, and also he treats cases. He says as little as possible. I mean, Holly Dasso is the other case. He's never even made one statement about her. So, but watch this. This is about 3 minutes long.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. You guys probably already know who I am, Kevin Kubitsky. I ran in 2020 against Nanos in the primary.
This guy ran against Nanos, and I mean, I just listen to this guy. This is who I think should run for sheriff next. So if you guys look up this guy, start this.
again?
He needs to run for this guy. Listen, he's very well spoken.
What
He'd
was
be
his name?
perfect. I don't know. Here, well, it's Kevin Kubitsky.
Your time. I appreciate it. You guys probably already know who I am, Kevin Kubitsky. I ran in 2020 against Nanos in the primary. My issue today is that I thought about this. I wasn't going to say anything, wasn't going to get involved, but I feel that it's really, really important with what's going on that you guys are made aware of this situation. I'll try not to go over on time. Recently, 3 people were just put on administrative leave by Chris Nanos for their stance on this upcoming election. The reasoning and the status behind it seems weird to me, but I think it's something that needs to kind of get exposed. Heather Lappin was put on administrative leave. Aaron Cross was put on administrative leave, and Deputy Garcia was put on administrative leave, all because they oppose nanos. Heather Lappin posted pictures of an event that occurred over the weekend. Aaron Cross was at this event. They were wearing tan shirts, green pants, no identifiers as law enforcement at all, and signs that said deputies don't want nanos. For nanos to go forward and do this, this is typical of his behavior, as I can attest to in the past about this stuff going on. There's other stuff that has occurred that I think you need to be aware of, because to me, that's clear and cut campaign interference. When you do that, he controls now Heather's, who had a fluctuating schedule. Now he controls her schedule Monday through Friday, and he can limit her from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock p.m. at night and not allow her to campaign during these last 23 days.
Crazy.
In addition to that, in the article by Dan Shearer, it clearly states from Nanos's mouth that they're going to do an internal and criminal investigation simultaneously. Well, we just got the AG report back about the situation involving Deputy Jane, and they identified where they don't do criminal and internal investigations at the same time. This clearly contradicts that. So there's many, many issues and problems. I personally have been called by Internal Affairs as a separate entity. I no longer work for the department. I was called by Internal Affairs and interviewed and asked specifically about whether there was an FBI investigation involving nanos or not. I simply told them I would not answer, said I was not going to confirm nor deny. They were asking me what my political affiliations were about Heather, about my conversations with Aaron Cross, and whether I was talking to Terry Frederick. All of that's inappropriate. I even made a complaint saying I want to file a complaint because I had 3 incidents happen to me.
And that's what they do. They do these insider people that go and start doing little attacks if anyone speaks out. And this is what happened to him. This guy is like, he's just as good as Aaron Cross.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just put his name in the chat, but maybe someone could clip him and say run for sheriff. But I do have something I just found. It's kind of funny. I had no idea Sheriff Nanos was Greek.
Oh, really?
And not that it,
I mean, that makes sense now that, like you say that, looking at him, it makes sense. He does look very Greek. What?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not saying anything against anybody who's Greek. I'm not being mean against
One of my
Greek.
closest friends is Greek.
Oh, no, I know. They're very passionate people. I love my
But this
Greek
other
friends.
guy sounds Polish, and I'm Polish, so I think he would be a great fit too.
I just found this article, and it's from the National Herald. And for some reason, they titled this article Greek American Sheriff. I have no idea why they would title it like Greek. Like, he's obviously just an American dude.
For
It's not like
votes,
he's,
because then he can vote. The Greek community will vote for him. That's just to garner more votes in different types of communities. It's just another. It's a selling tactic.
okay,
That's
well,
all it
goes
is. And
on
they
to
probably
saying,
sold that, and they probably had that article hit a lot of areas that are very Greek oriented too. That they probably targeted those communities, and that's how that works. That's the whole journalism. That's how, if it were me, I would do the same thing. I would be like, Polish American, or 100% Polish woman decides to blah blah blah, and I'd be like, send it to my church, send it to my old school, send it here. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's our little Alina, we can't believe
yeah.
it.
And so,
It's
okay.
smart.
Yeah, well, it gets them to read it because they're like, the sheriff is Greek. So if
Yeah.
they're watching, it says he's elected sheriff as member of the Democrat Party. He identifies as a Catholic.
See, there you go. Now you got the religious community getting their ears perked up. See how many levels he's covering, how many, it's a smart tactic. It's not if he's got a PR team or however that is,
Oh my God.
it's smart. I mean, look in your chat. They're already talking about Greek food. It's working.
Greek food is so good. I'm told
It
I have to
is.
eat Greek food.
Oh yeah,
But anyway, JLR said that nanos means small in Greek.
yeah. Well, here, listen to this.
So what does the article say?
Listen to this. Says he may appear to have strong ties to Greece. However, he is of Greek descent on his father's side. Oh no, he says he may not have ties to Greece, but his dad, he is the grandson of Louis and Despina Nanos, who immigrated to the United States and settled in Stamford, Connecticut. Are these people like? I'm gonna look them up on Google. Are they
That's
like?
definitely a Greek populated area because I'm from New York, so I know like where all of us, where we emigrated to, and where the communities are of the different countries. So East Coast was big, and so was Australia.
Yeah, good to know. Highly populated there. I didn't know.
Well, anyway, it's interesting that the Greek. I'll just finish this article, but it is I guess for whatever reason they're going to his Greek roots. According to so this is interesting though. Under unclear circumstances, his father, Peter Nanos, later moved to Stanford to El Paso. So that's why he was in El Paso. Is his father moved there, where he married Alice Cook, who also had lived there. And then it goes on here. According to the same records, the Nanos family endured two major tragedies. Their daughter Despina died just one day after birth, and Georgia, one of his sisters, passed away at the age of 23. So anyway, I don't know. This is a weird letter that they're tying it into his Greek immigrants.
Sympathy votes.
Yeah, but it's weird because they're tying it into like the Nancy Guthrie case.
Because they want to personalize him. They want to make people realize that he's, like make him like make people realize that he's a human. He has a beating heart, that, tragedy has occurred in his life too. Come on, guys, let's not be so hard on him. Let's put your arm around him and, give him a little, shrug and realize that, bad things occurred in his life too, that maybe, everybody makes mistakes. He's only human. That's the whole angle. It's a mind, it's a psychologically written, very smartly written article. I got to give it to him, whoever did it. They hit all the, the triggers for the readers, for the audience.
Right.
But he never fixed the problem though.
Yeah, because this is a smoke and mirrors kind of article. It's to
just say he's after the public.
The negative, all the negativity that's being pushed towards them. This is the kind of, give somebody, look at it through a different lens and be like, but I get what you're saying about him, guys, but look at him about his life like this. He also has this about him. Do you know this? Do you guys know this about him? They're trying to humanize him,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we got a super chat from Sweet Georgia Peach, and I didn't know he had a huge mansion, but she says, "Have you seen his huge Sabino Drive mansion in the guarded community? He gets crazy paid to cover botch cases for fraudsters. He cares more about power than his career and being on their payroll." And that's, I mean, a lot of people don't know, like Nanos actually helped implement the biggest invasion, and I'm not getting political for anybody in the chat. They don't like when we get political. I'm not getting political, but he actually stayed silent while they basically pushed millions of immigrants into our country, and he could have spoke up, but he actually got paid, not personally, but millions and his department to protect the immigrants in the hotels. I have video. You can Google it, or Nick Shirley, and just type Nick Shirley Tucson. He came to Tucson.
Oh, I love Nick Shirley.
Well, here's what happened though. Nick Shirley didn't get popular till he went to Minnesota. I mean, people
Yeah.
knew. So this nobody really heard about these Kate. They heard about it, but it was kind of like a. And so I actually tried to tag him and say, hey, come back to Tucson.
Oh, really?
But you know he's pretty busy guy. But thank you, sweet Georgia. I'm gonna have to look on maps where that is, and just I mean I can imagine because he has his Corvette, and I know he was seen driving it in that Sabino area. But
Did you know about that documentary that dropped, I think in like September or October of 25? For it's all about Pima County and like the happenings with the departments and all that over there. I never really watched
send
it
it to me.
fully. Yeah, I
Send it
will.
to
I
me.
have a link. I have it. I'll send it to you. I keep meaning to make the time and really watch it, but I like start it and watch a few things and then I just look into something but I will watch it. But yeah, I'll send it to you. And it was kind of bizarre because it came out, I think literally like 3 or 4 months right before all of this happened. And some people, brought that up too. Like maybe this documentary brought some unneeded attention on Pima County and, the
Oh,
happenings over there too. But I don't think so.
that's a whole. I could do a whole show on what you just said right there. There's so many things that like I'm trying to just keep it on the surface of what everyone's focused on, but yeah, there's lots of things that are going on here in Pima County that would raise flags in any other city or state. But what I'm gonna do is we're gonna keep playing these old videos. Look how young he looks.
I know. Well, when I first logged on your show and you were playing these videos, I'm like, wow, he really lost a lot of weight. He looks so different. And then I realized you were playing old videos, and I was like, okay, makes sense. I thought all the stress was like reversing him.
Yeah, was that 10 years ago?
Yeah, so this video is exactly from 10 years ago. Now, and that's the thing is before Nanos got older, he I don't want to say he's married. You know, obviously he's been married forever and stuff, but I think he used his looks and being a bully and being a boxer to like intimidate people, right? Like so, to see him younger and now his mannerisms haven't changed, right? So I have to just run to the restroom. I'm gonna just let this play. It's a little bit longer, but it really will maybe spell out why like what you're seeing in the Nancy case will come out in this video in all his interviews. So I'll be right back. And this is from 10 years ago, if anyone comes in to ask. And
Okay.
thank you again, Super Chatter, Sweet, Georgia Peach, Reyes, Binky, Kathleen, everybody who's joining as a member. We got a new member. And Skeet 231 Skeet, thank you. So this one, be right back.
Possible investigation into your department.
Well, you probably know what you know because you read it in the paper, and that's how I know about it. I think back in November, Ms. Schmidt had talked to us and done an investigative report on our cafeteria. She reported a number of flaws in our procurement process that we hope to have corrected. We're still working on some things, permits at the jail, those types of things. This was all done prior to me getting here, but we recognize that, yeah, we've made some missteps and we're taking care of that. When it comes to an FBI investigation, I was taken back by that as much as anybody. Here's an agency who, for years, has been known to deny or acknowledge or anything about any kind of investigation. They're famous for that. And yet they confirm Ms. Caitlin's sources to her, I'm told. And that I'm told by Ms. Caitlin Schmidt, that she called me a couple of days ago and said,
Hey, what do you know about this FBI investigation? I says, well, why are you asking me about an FBI investigation? You should be asking them. It's their investigation. And she says, well, I did. I said, well, what did they tell you? She says, well, they confirmed what my sources have told me. I said, well, that's nice.
So have you been interviewed by the FBI?
Absolutely not. No. Andy Black from their director for Tucson office talked to me in December. And at that time, the conversation was so benign, he led me to believe there wasn't an investigation. In fact, it was more along the lines of fatherly advice about things that had nothing to do with this. It was almost a bizarre conversation I had with him.
He's
never
lying.
anything about investigation. And then in January,
Well, I mean, I
got word from one of my
allegedly, I
employees
feel
who
like
said
he
the
is.
FBI
It's my
interviewed me.
opinion.
And so that's when I called
He
Mr.
slips in
Barstow, the
words that
director
you
here, and
could
said,
tell he's lying.
Well,
"What's
he's
up,
just
Andy? Are you
deflecting
doing an
everything.
investigation?"
You know, he's
And then he
changing
tells me,
the,
well, it's just a
like,
preliminary investigation.
you know, by saying the fatherly advice
Well, I
and,
don't know what the difference
you know,
between
saying things
preliminary
that just
and
don't
criminal.
matter,
You have
you
to ask
know,
FBI.
like,
But I know that once Caitlin called me, I
off
spoke
topic.
to the FBI and I let them know pretty much how unhappy I was for the you know, I think I told you.
I think I told you.
Ms.
Who
Schmidt
says
should
that?
be on the FBI's payroll. She's done a better job investigating this case
Changing
than
the
the FBI
subject.
has. The FBI's had it for 30, 90,
So
since
somebody
November,
from the
90
FBI
days.
just gave him fatherly
And
advice,
they've
and now
interviewed 3
he's
reporters.
talking
They've
badly
not asked for
about
any
the
records.
FBI.
Ms.
So which
Schmitz
is
asked for
it?
all of our financial
He's
records.
all
We
over
tried to
the
give it to her.
place.
We
That
cooperated fully with
explains
her.
why he was like
We
this
just
at the case.
recognized her missteps. Was there a
He
violation of some
He's
obscure
like
just,
law, as others have
FBI.
he's
said,
trying
some
to
procurement
confuse
law?
the
It's a
audience. That's what
civil
he's doing.
process
He's
where
deflecting.
we messed up on a procurement issue where we didn't have
Nobody
those
knows
with
what he's talking
disability
about right
get
now.
first shot at a contract. Yep, we probably
He
did.
doesn't go with the
We admit to that.
question. He just
Our
chooses his
mistake.
topic.
Was there
Exactly, because
disability
he doesn't want the
vending
focus
machines
on
already
himself. He
placed here?
wants it on
Absolutely. We
everybody
already had them.
else.
They were here. They've been offered the jail. They've even since then been offered here, and they still turned
That's
it
why
down.
he said,
So
I
all
think
of
I
those
told you
things,
before,
those
so and so
questions,
should be on the payroll because he
that were
wants the
produced
attention
by
on
Ms. Schmidt,
other
to
people
me,
other than
were
himself.
bizarre.
And that's,
In terms
like I said,
of
he's been deflecting, look, even 10 years
FBI
ago.
investigation of RICO funds, well, that's just crazy.
Now
have
we're talking
access,
RICO funds.
absolutely, and Mr. Black knows this. We have no access to RICO funds. Never have. It goes through the county attorneys. When you want
Word
RICO
salad,
dollars,
yeah.
and oh, by the way, we don't
exactly
buy
it.
binoculars. And when I came in office, I said, enough of that. We've got enough stuff. So we bought some tasers. Okay,
Oh,
good.
now here's
It's
the
appropriate
prince
expense for
riding
RICO.
in on the
But I can
shiny,
look at our RICO
on the big
dollars and
horse.
go,
Because when he came
it
in
should be
office, he
put
said,
back into this community where it really
Prove
has
it.
an
He
impact
rumbles, so
on
you could tell
crime,
when someone
on
lies. They'll
substance
keep on
abuse and things of
talking.
that nature. So we look at those.
I don't even
nonprofits
think he's blinked.
who
Blink.
And I actually showed up at the door of Youth on Their Own because I heard about them.
Oh,
and I
there goes
showed up
one.
at their door and said, why aren't you
He's
guys
not
applying?
blinking.
This is a great organization who does some great things with our kids. Kids who are on the street homeless or taken away by the courts have nowhere to go, and they make them stay in school. 97% success rate. That's who I'd rather see my RICO dollars go to. Programs like Amastatus, LULAC, Youth on Their Own, YWCA, several of them.
Victoria Hall, yeah,
Since I've been in
100%.
office, over $150,000 to those types of programs. But they're programs that are designed to help our kids stay out of jail.
So your department has never used RICO dollars for either of these cafeterias, cafes?
No, not to my
Oh,
knowledge at
see,
all.
that's
We
what they
probably
found
have.
out. He
I think
did.
And she, in her article, she mentioned that
I guess they did find
What
out that
Lee
he
and I were
did use it.
talking about.
Captain James, who was new at the time as
Yeah.
down there,
He
mentioned to her
was
that
lying the whole time.
refrigerators were purchased with RICO dollars, and that there was some $20,000 purchase. Well, the refrigerator was $4,000, and we thought, as he did, that it was RICO dollars. We checked with our downtown procurement office, who, oh, by the way, also oversees our purchases. And they said, no, it was general fund money. Okay, so he misspoke. Oh, we're hiding something very nefarious of us. See, we did this cafeteria thing based on nothing more than a desire to help our staff. That's all it was. Trying to do the right thing for the right reasons, not worrying about doing things right, black and white. Okay, I get it. Sometimes we have to do that just for appearance, but this office has always been transparent, always. We have given Caitlin every document she's asked. She even asked for documents that when we gave them to her, she said, why did I want this? I don't know, Caitlin, but you asked for it, so we're going to give it to you. We would give you everything you want, any document you want, all of those. The FBI hasn't come by and asked for any of those documents. They've not asked for, hey, can we see your procurement policies and procedures? Could we see your RICO policies and procedures? Could we see your expenditures for RICO? Could we see your expenditures for procurement? You see that? But yet they've had it for 3 months and interviewed 3 employees. I really am, if I'm upset at anybody, I'm upset at the FBI. You confirm something that you never confirm. I understand the paper said, Ms. Schmidt put in her article that they didn't confirm it, but I know she told me they did. So I'm guessing that she probably got confirmation off the record. Well, that's inappropriate too. No matter what the story is, the FBI to me has better things to do. If they don't,
see,
then come out and ask us
any
what you
chance
can do.
he gets.
2 weeks ago, we had their corruptions unit call my internal affairs and say, we're slow. There's nothing going on. Do you have anything for us? Well, if I'm managing a case that I think is that critical and important, where I'm involving a law enforcement agency, one of the largest ones under my jurisdiction, I think that's pretty critical. I think that's pretty important. And I would turn to my staff and say, and I do, because we investigate cases for other agencies, and I say, it's important to them. So you get it done and do it completely, thoroughly, and oh, by the way, timely. 90 days, 3 interviews of employees who, for all I know, are just upset at for some reason, but nothing more. No request for records, no request for financial stuff, no talk to the sheriff, nothing. So
you see where this FBI battle is coming from, and the battle with the county supervisors.
Yeah. Am I upset at the FBI? Absolutely.
Yeah.
They should. They get by with saying no comment. Who does that in today's world? Who does that? Yet they get by with that. And when this thing's all resolved and the case is all over, I challenge him. I challenge Mr. Black to stand up to that camera by himself and say, we have looked at this investigation and we have exonerated, completely find this investigation to be total BS, because that's what it is.
Ego is so evil.
Because they won't confirm or deny.
Look how he's like picking a fight. Like he's literally boxing with the FBI in his words. Like, see how he sits back and he's like,
yeah.
I mean, and that's where we're at today, is like he could literally have tried to smooth over some of this stuff with and he always tries to just fight back.
So like earlier in the, can you pause it for a second? When you were in the restroom, the interviewer asked, have you been interviewed by the FBI? And he said, no. And he was just like very, dramatic, like, no. And then he goes, I don't remember if he mentioned the FBI agent's name, but I think he did. And he goes, but he did talk to me several months ago. So he's kind of like changing it. Like he didn't interview him, but he did talk to him several months ago. And he said, it wasn't necessarily about this, we kind of talked about other things. And he goes, it was a wonderful conversation. We kind of talked about blah, blah, blah. And he goes, it was like fatherly figure, or it was like fatherly advice, and he was just very, complimentive of this conversation. And then not even 2 seconds later, he's talking negatively about the FBI. So it's like, which is it, buddy? You want to compliment the FBI, and then 2 seconds later, you're saying the FBI could have done a better job in this and this and that. And now even here, he's talking again, not in such a positive tone. And this just shows that he's going in every direction. He's pointing fingers and wants to talk about every other person but himself, right? And he even says, to this person, to this woman, he's like, I think I mentioned to you before. And then he says somebody's name. He's like, they should be on the payroll and this and that. It's like, what are you talking about? You're talking in circles, dude. Like stop and focus, like, did you take your medicine today?
He must be a bad listener. I don't
Clearly.
know, but jeez.
Well, there was back in the day, like in the 80s and the 70s. Well, let's just say from like the 50s all the way until the 80s and even the 90s. There was always like a morale within the police, right? And so like smaller departments, it still happens today, right? And that's what I think is back to that good old boys network, and he gets the people who are on his side to fight for him. I mean, I have them, you know, sometimes in my chat or in my comments, and they'll, you know, they support him, you know.
And you know for sure that it's him?
In the chat?
Yeah, because like I see other like, you know, people out there that think that it's him jumping in their
Oh,
chats,
not
and I
him.
know
Just
it's not, you know.
no, not
But I know
him.
that
No,
you're local and probably have, you know,
no,
it's
it's
the
not him, but it's supporters of him.
oh, okay. I see what you
But
mean.
I did notice one time, like I was on my personal Facebook, and you know how it suggests friends to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like for whatever reason, he was suggested to be my friend. And so
Oh, yeah, we
usually
all know what that means.
they went,
He's
I
doing a
think,
little peeping over there.
I think he was at home one day by the pool, like looking up my name on, and because I didn't add him as a friend, but,
But he wanted you
was,
to.
so
He
people are asking,
he
it is
wants to be your
4:20.
BFF.
You know, the thing about is, I can be friends with anyone. And like, I would like to just, cause I've never met him. I met Lappin, you know, Heather Lappin, the
You
one
met, I
that,
thought you approached him. I watched that when you went up to him and asked him
well,
a few
that,
questions.
I don't count that as like, that
Like
actually,
formally meeting him.
that does count. It does. But
Yeah.
like Heather Lappin, I'd met and actually talked to her for a couple minutes, and it was like, I didn't like surprise her, right? Like I surprised
Yeah.
Nanos,
Yeah,
but
you did kind of jump out of the bushes there.
um, yeah, but he is kind of you know, a hothead, and the other day he was seen, like, to me, with everything going on, right, for him. And this is where maybe he just doesn't care. Like, okay, so you have a Corvette. Would you drive that to the sheriff's department for work? Like on duty?
Absolutely not. No, I'd get like a beater and have that as my, you know, office vehicle,
Yeah, to me
especially
that would
during
send
this case, you
that sends a
know.
message
Depends
of,
the type of
Yeah.
job they had. Right. I mean,
well,
Yeah.
I don't think I think it makes him look like a hothead because you're going to
And we
work.
know he has a different car. Like for a fact, this person must have a different vehicle, you know, like the Corvette cannot be your everyday, you know, 365
exactly.
day, you know, vehicle,
No.
right?
When he
So
went to
he
that
has
meeting,
another option.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. He had a different car.
yeah. So we'll try to keep watching this. I don't know. It's pretty long. I don't know how much more I can watch of Nanos.
I don't know. I never see people just because they drive some luxury car means that they got money. I never see it that way. I always see that, oh, they know a lot. They owe a lot of money in most
Exactly.
cases. Because the people I know that they don't dress like who got money, they don't dress like they don't show it. Like
Right.
what they have in their pockets. They're pretty you know,
Well,
secretive
yeah.
for
He's
the
been
most part.
sheriff, and he was sheriff with Adelita Grijalva now and Raul Grijalva. And you know, if you look at the United States of America, our district literally is the trafficking route for drugs into America. I mean, there's other ones,
Yeah.
but if you were to like count how many there are, the big ones, there's like probably 3 or 4, and we're one of them, one of the biggest.
Right.
It's all right through his district for the last 20 years. And he never, have you heard him ever go, hey, help me guys, I'm getting unloaded by.
Yeah.
So this to me, he's a plant, and he has been for a while, and now he's falling on he's the scapegoat. But there's so
Yeah.
many people, and I can't bring it up today. Maybe one day I will, about how dirty this place is. It's
This
not.
makes so much sense, everything that you're saying, honestly. Like, it's like, you know, like I have this whole idea in my head, or like, you know, how everybody has their theories, and things that you're saying kind of is connecting some loose ends, you know, and it makes sense. I get what I probably, right, when you do come out with it, but I think, yeah, that was actually one of my questions. I was thinking in my head, how do I present a question like this? But I think you just answered it. Everyone's like, what the hell? But yeah, it makes sense. And he's probably not only trying to save his job tonight, but probably trying to save his life.
I think, I mean, like I said, I think he'll be all right if he just leaves. I mean, he could just retire off. Like you said, someone said he has a mansion. He's got, I mean, he could just go enjoy your family, dude. Like, leave everybody alone. I mean, come on. Because as much as like what he's putting the public through and has been for years, it's sad.
But right, but that's what I mean. Like maybe he just can't yet, right? Like maybe there's certain jobs that need to be finished before the next person comes into office, because that person really is going to have their eyes opened and going to do all this stuff that needs to be done, right?
No.
Where right now,
no,
that's what I'm telling his blinders on. No.
What's happening? What's going to happen? Okay. I'm just speculating, so I'm just some dude.
This is all allegedly.
Okay, go speculate.
Yes.
I'm just
as long as you say allegedly, you're good.
Yeah.
Well, the thing they just want to replace him with somebody that they can control more. The local Democrat politicians. So this isn't if they get him to remove. Yeah, they just fill his position with another Democrat. Not that I'm saying that's bad. Like it could be great, like you're saying, that they'll come in and it'll probably be good, right? I'm not saying it's bad. But this isn't like an election where it's gonna go to an election until after the 3 years is up.
Right.
So then it'll be new callers. We'll put anyone who wants to come in and chat. You guys can stay in as long as you want, and we'll bring in other people.
Yeah, before go
I'm
ahead.
gonna head
I
out
do have
soon.
a
My
question,
family.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. And then I've got texts from my
Yeah,
family
my
saying we're
question
hungry.
is, oh yeah, before you go, Helena, yeah, this might be a good question to answer to. If regardless whether he gets fired or not, or he retire or resigns, and let's say the case they finally found a suspect and they have to put it in a court case, can Nanos be put in a stand even he's taken? I know he's represented as a sheriff by the county,
If he
but
worked on the case,
yeah, well, if they say, okay, the case happens, they found, because they have a suspect, and of course there's this court case going on, and they have people come into a stand. Can he be put and called in as far as Nanos?
remind me the beginning of the question. Is this if he gets removed or if he retires?
Whether he resigns or he gets
If he
fired
resigns,
or
the
not.
case. If he resigns, the case will be handed over to the next in line, like whoever takes his position. But
Really?
if like during the trial, they have every right to call him to the stand because he is active in the in the investigation of the case.
Oh, even though he's
But
no
he will
longer
no longer be
represented by them
actively working the case, but he can be called to the stand
as an individual.
because he was investigating the case when he was an active,
Ooh,
duty
that would be
officer.
great. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm pretty positive on that. I'm like 99%
Yeah, I would
sure on
think
my
so.
answer.
Yeah, because it happened the time when he was a sheriff. If he, when, he gets
Yeah.
fired, or that would be great. Nice talking to you, Lena.
All right. Well, it's nice meeting you. And
See you
I'm
later.
going to keep it. So what's going to happen with the vote? Is it like, are they going to announce it right away? Do you know how long it's going to take?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably not going to be quick. I haven't looked at the actual thing. I don't know if they have it in order. So, we will see, but it's probably going to be what they do is like at the beginning, they have like their proclamations,
Mhm.
proclamations, right?
Proclamation, documentation,
Proclamation.
something. Yeah.
And then they will do a uh the public speakers. So we might hear some good public speakers that are talking about everything, like last week. And then they'll go to like their agenda, and so we'll just see. But I'll let you go feed your kids and come back later if you're
Okay.
able.
Don't
If
forget to
not,
follow me on YouTube, Crime Scene
yep,
Collective, and
crime
on
scene.
Facebook and Twitter or X, all the platforms. And Scene is SEEN.
Okay, I put it in the chat.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, see
All
ya.
right. I'll keep an
All
eye
right,
out. All right. Bye.
bye
Bye,
bye.
Lee. All right. Bye.
Bye, Lena.
Are you gonna stick around, Lee?
I'll be getting off here in 2 minutes and then be back a little bit later. So I would like to
Okay.
hear.
All right. Well, I'll keep. Yeah, just whenever you need to go. I'm gonna mute it because we're gonna play this video. The volume's kind of.
Yeah.
And I do have. We're gonna do the T-shirt contest. I'm gonna set my clock here for a couple minutes, and we're gonna do that. I gotta think of a word. So let me think of a word, and we'll play
Did
this.
you reach out to them after this story was published?
I reached out to him. What is today's Friday? No, Caitlin told me she was writing the story. In fact, I told Caitlin.
All right, I'm kind of done with this video already, so we're gonna fast forward to now a more recent video, because I kind of want. There's a couple that I wanted to get to before the meeting today. This is it. So this was from 1 month ago. Dan Abrams. I didn't even know he had a channel, but he interviewed Brian Inton. Did you know he had a channel, Dan Abrams? I don't know if she can hear me,
I
but
never heard of who Dan Abrams is. Is he well known? What?
he's just he's an announcer, a reporter. So I'm just gonna play this for a minute. I haven't even seen it, so we're watching this together for the first time. It's the questions: what went wrong? Sheriff Nanos's biggest mistakes in the Nancy Guthrie case. And I'm going to put my timer for 5 minutes until we do the T-shirt contest. So 5-minute ticker, and we'll start it. And what you're going to do, let me make sure I get it set up real quick. Are you going to enter the T-shirt contest, Lee?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to do, we'll just do, so the code to enter, you don't need anything to enter. Anyone can enter free. This is just for fun. It's ran by StreamYard under all the guidelines that are needed. So you just need to put hashtag love. Hashtag love. And then we'll do that for about 5 or 10 minutes. 15, we'll see how many we get, and then we'll do the drawing. So just put hashtag love in the, and let me just, this, it has to look just like that.
Where do I enter that to?
Into the comment box. Into the comment box. And then in a minute, this will automatically pick everybody who entered that hashtag, just like it looks on the screen right now. And it'll pick one automatically. And then I will send out a t-shirt that kind of looks like this in the top left corner of the screen. So we're going to play this video, but just like it looks like we already got 76 entries already, almost to 100. So just like it looks, if one of the mods can put something in the chat and I'll pin it, or let us, whoever's coming in new, let people know what's going on. Let's go back to this Dan Abrams. Actually, yeah, let's do Dan Abrams and then we'll do this one. All right, so this is Sheriff Nanos's biggest mistake. It's Brian Enton and Dan Abrams.
What are the strongest arguments that have been made about why he has screwed up the Guthrie investigation?
Two big things, and it really stems from the beginning. Didn't call the FBI in soon enough. That he should have realized that they couldn't handle it on their own, and that he waited a couple of days to call the FBI in, and that he cleared the crime scene. But it kind of goes deeper than that. You know, a lot of people in his department don't like him. He, from what I'm told, gutted the detective unit and the homicide unit.
And that's the other thing is, yeah, he took all the experienced homicide investigators and demoted them and put new people in that never even have been in homicide. And that's just crazy. But we do have 129 entries only. We have 800 people in the chat. How are we only getting? Make sure you have it spelled just like this. Type hashtag love and you will automatically be entered for free. Share it out. Let's try to get that to, I mean, I know everybody wants, hey, we want to have it lower people entering it, but we'll do this more often. So all right, we're going to just finish watching this. We are about 23 minutes away from showtime of the meeting. This is Dan Abrams and Brian Enton.
Welcome to the show. So later in the show, I'm going to be talking about a under the radar ruling that has come out of New Jersey, which could literally mean exactly who they want as the New Jersey U.S. attorney. And Democrat, the sheriff is a Democrat, and he addressed the concerns about the sheriff.
I think that's part of it. Look, I have had some concerns with leadership of the department for some time, and in particular,
That's an understatement.
Most recently is that there's now been some reporting in a local paper here in Phoenix with the Arizona Republic that the sheriff misrepresented his work history, withheld a lot of disciplinary history that he had when he worked for El Paso Police Department before coming to Pima County to even get a job, and that kind of omission is a very serious thing to have when you're the head of a law enforcement agency like this.
Well, it's also a very serious thing to have when everyone is looking for your head, right? This is what happens when people start to pile on. They start to look at resumes. I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I'm just saying that, this guy is now under fire from a lot of directions, all right? Now, remember last week, and we talked about this, this is number 4. He was interviewed on NBC, and he starts to sort of say what he thinks happened here, but couches it in kind of vague terms. Let's listen.
Do you think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely. We believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about it.
That's a big thing. That brings even, I think it could be a burglary gone wrong. He's telling people right there. It's not, it could be. they, I think it could be someone else that's out there that might do it again. Why would they do that to an 84-year-old woman?
I want to ask
There
you,
is
what do you think happened? I forgot what you may have said
Yeah,
before,
well, I'm not
probably.
going to go too much into that right now just because we're about to do the meeting soon, but
Okay, did it change?
mainly I think it could be burglary gone wrong or some sort of revenge. The ransom doesn't really, so it's either burglary gone wrong or revenge.
Revenge, which means what do you call it? Not involving money, or
Well,
against
it
Nancy
seems
and
like it
Savannah,
seems
or
yeah, I mean if they were to tell us that the ransom notes were real, then that changes things. But right now, you know, we just don't know if they're real. I mean, they won't tell us.
maybe
Even though
even. Go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just so it could be ransom, but they haven't told us if it's real, if they're real.
It could also be revenge against, Annie or Tommaso. What if someone owes someone and they look, you owe me something, or otherwise I do this to you, kind of like that,
Yeah.
possibly. But
I
anyway,
hope we find out one day, but here we'll finish watching this and then I'm gonna pull up the meeting because the meeting starts here soon.
Also, now this recall effort, and you have this Republican congressional candidate who is now kind of using this as a big political issue. But where does this leave us when it comes to the investigation? Well, there is no better person to ask that question to than Brian Enton, who is the senior national correspondent for News Nation, who has been on this case since day one. And he joins us now. Brian, thanks for coming back. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan.
All right, so let's start with issue one of this recall. Is this thing real? I mean, does it look like he actually might get recalled?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure it's real because there's a lot of people who don't like him in Pima County. He won the last election by only roughly 400 votes, so it was very, very close already. And yeah, it's a real thing. And basically, he could either retire or there could be another special election if the recall goes through. I'm told there's immense pressure for him to just retire on his own. I know there's going to be a county meeting next week where I believe the supervisors there, the county supervisors, are going to talk to him. And I know that behind the scenes, there's already been pressure for him to retire. But, he's an elected sheriff. I mean, it's a powerful position anywhere, especially in Arizona. So they can't fire him. They can't just push him out.
When is his term up?
Another 3 years, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's got a ways. He's got a ways to go. He responded to the effort by saying, we're aware of the recall and it's the right of the people. We'll always honor the will of the people. And that's what makes democracy. How does this recall work? They have to get a certain number of signatures.
Yeah, they get a certain number of signatures. I forget exactly how many, but it seems doable. And then they file them, and then it's pretty straightforward.
And then there would be let's listen to, this is Gutierrez. This is the congressional candidate he's a Republican who's running what I think most people view as a longer shot campaign, but this seems a popular issue now to go after the sheriff there. Let's play number 6. This is congressional candidate Daniel Gutierrez talking about the effort.
Damn.
Police in Pima County had a unanimous vote of no confidence in Sheriff Nanos last week. And it's also come to light that the sheriff had to resign from the El Paso Police Department after packing up a laundry list of infractions. What do you think the final straw was for those officers?
The final straw was the false resume. That was the one that caused them to take a vote. To me, I've been watching Nanos for a while because I've been traveling the southern border, and as you know, Pima County borders along the border.
Yes,
and
it does.
for Yeah, for 4 years, drugs had poured across that border by drug runners and backpacks. Mr. Chilton, he's a rancher along that border, has filmed it for 4 years. And he's got images of thousands of drug runners coming across the border, the exact path they take, the exact time of day, and he's given it to law enforcement, and there has been one arrest.
So this is about more than, of
So
course,
that-
the Nancy Guthrie case. This is just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. That's what I've been
And
saying.
Nancy Guthrie was the final thing, and I've been out to Nancy Guthrie's. It's a shame that crime has risen to this point in our community, and I can't blame just Nanos. We have failed leadership in Pima County.
All right. So as I look this up in terms of what do you need for a recall, signatures required in Arizona, you need 25% of all votes cast at the last election for all candidates for office held by that elected official. So it would mean that you'd need 25% of the number of votes that were cast in the sheriff's election to be able to get a recall. And that's what they're trying to do right now. You have 120 days to collect the signatures, 60 days to complete signature verification, et cetera. And so these are all the requirements.
This is Dan Abrams, and this is great because it's really putting us into where we are today. The recall, people are asking how many recall. It's a lot of signatures, but I'm going to talk to Dan this week and see how many he has.
I mean, Brian Enton, as far as you know, is the sheriff concerned about this?
I don't really get that sense. I mean, his statement didn't really surprise me because when I interviewed him and asked him about criticism, and this was before the recall effort, he kind of gave me the same line of just like, well, I was elected and this is a democracy. And if people aren't happy, then they wouldn't have elected me and they can vote me out if they don't like me. So he kind of goes back to that. But I'll tell you, like from the moment I was on the ground there in Tucson, there was a sense that just a lot of people don't like the sheriff and that this had been an issue for a long time, long before Nancy Guthrie. And I mean, the vote of no confidence, unions a lot of times in other stories I've covered always kind of have an issue with the boss. But this just felt different. I mean, even during the election, I had never heard of this before, and there were pictures. The deputies were outside the sheriff's office with signs for his opponent, and they had masks on so that they couldn't be identified, so that Nanos wouldn't come after them. Granted, I'm sure he could figure out who they were, but it's really contentious there with Nanos.
So what are the strongest arguments? And I'm not asking you to endorse them. I'm just asking you to tell us, what are the strongest arguments that have been made about why he has screwed up the Guthrie investigation?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a great question. And we are watching Dan Abrams. It's titled Sheriff Nanos's Biggest Mistake in the Nancy Guthrie Case Exposed. We are 13 minutes away from showtime. Thanks for tuning in. We're about to do, after this video, we'll do the free t-shirt giveaway. No entry. All you got to do is type in #love. There is only 185 entries. So there's 865 people in the chat, and there's only 885 entries. So you guys, whoever entered, you are going to there's only 185 out of the 874. So we'll give it a couple minutes. We're going to just wrap it up watching this, and then we're going to jump right into the live meeting. The showdown for Nanos is coming.
Really stems from the beginning that he didn't call the FBI in soon enough, that he should have realized that that they couldn't handle it on their own, and that he waited a couple of days to call the FBI in, and that he cleared the crime scene. That's when we were able to go up and get the blood video, that he didn't keep it all locked down. I mean, that he just did a quick search and then opened things back up and didn't call the FBI until later. But it kind of goes deeper than that. So he, a lot of people in his department don't like him. And so he, from what I'm told, gutted the detective unit and the homicide unit. So the average experience that detectives in that unit have is about 3 years. And then the guys who were there for 15 or 20 who supported the other candidate, who was also someone within the sheriff's office, by the way. So it was really heated. He demoted them all or moved them out. Like there were guys I met who, you know, were detectives for 20 years who are now like on desk duty answering the phone for, you know, your bike is lost and that's their job now. You know, he's like punishing people that way. So it's just fact. He never really fought us against this when we reported it. You know, the detective unit is very, very young.
Right. Let me play another piece of sound. This is again from Pima County Supervisor Matt Hines. This is number 2 on News Nation last night being.
All right, this guy that we're going to watch is Matt Hines next, and he is the one who's been spearheading that, the whole thing about getting Nanos to resign or get fired, whatever it is going to be. But welcome into Devil Dog _88. Thank you for your service to the country, Devil Dog 88. Semper Fi, he says, and he has a great channel. He's been covering the Nancy Guthrie case. I've been going over there and even made a video with his dog. Cute dog he has. But shout out to Devil Dog _88 saying hello in the chat. First time I think he's been here. But welcome in. Yep, exactly, Blue Agave. It's a small world here in Tucson. We are getting close to the live meeting and the live t-shirt giveaway. Now, when you type the giveaway, make sure it looks just like this. Capital L and then the rest lowercase. I got to run to the restroom real quick. I'm going to let this play. Welcome in. Welcome in. Here we go.
Asked if this recall is too extreme.
Look, and I can't speak for the recall effort. I'm not involved and I don't represent them at all. But what I am detecting from my own office and from my own role as a supervisor, hearing a lot of frustration, not just about this Guthrie investigation, but it's an accumulation of frustrations with the sheriff and with his leadership. So I understand why there is a group that's interested in doing this, and that's their right. That is their right to recall any of us. Sounds like he might be frustrated with my leadership too, because he said that was a blanket statement there that I heard. But it's truly, in my view, the concerning situation here is having the head of our largest law enforcement agency in Pima County be willing to potentially lie under oath in a deposition and to omit disciplinary history in his own work history. That is not confidence inspiring for the people that he's leading or for anyone in the community.
Brian Enton, when I hear a fellow Democrat who is a county supervisor there in Pima County not remotely defending the sheriff against a recall effort, you got to believe that he's in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think this is a partisan issue. In fact, there's another guy there that a lot of people want to be the sheriff who is also a Democrat. So it doesn't feel Democrat Republican to me. And yeah, I mean, you heard what the supervisor said. A lot of it comes down to, you know, him never saying that he was sort of forced out of the El Paso Police Department decades ago, that he had I think he was suspended 8 times there. But what they're zeroing in on when you heard him say about lying in a deposition, you know, when he's been on the record before, he never acknowledged what really happened in El Paso. And so that's the issue they're really trying to nail him on now.
All right, let me ask you a final question about the investigation. Is this still ongoing? I mean, is there still, are they still actively investigating, or is it more passively in the sense of just hoping something's going to come in?
No, it's active. And I will say, to give the sheriff some credit, it seems a lot more organized now. They set up this task force that the FBI seems to be more in control of. And so there's a handful of detectives from the sheriff's office that are full-time on the task force, and then a ton of FBI agents, and they all actually meet at the Tucson FBI office. Like that's their headquarters, and they're all on it full time. I mean, 24/7. So it's still active for sure. And I mean, I talk to a bunch of neighbors in the neighborhood almost every day. They're still out in the neighborhood constantly. I don't get the sense that there's some pressing lead that's come in that, you know, we're going to see a huge development in the next couple of days or weeks. But my sense is still that it will be solved just because of the resources from the FBI. I know they're still waiting on the DNA. And I just think it'll either be DNA that finally comes through with genetic genealogy, or there'll
Let's
just be
hope.
some kind of lucky break. Some kind of lucky break will pop up. Someone will call in a tip. I think that's going to happen. I really.
That's what we need. We need a tip. I mean, this guy, like I said, if he lives in Tucson, somebody recognizes that body, that face.
Do.
And
even underneath the mask. And I apologize, Lee. Are you still here? I know. You're.
Yes, I'm here. No
Okay.
worries. I'm
Okay.
listening.
Good. All right. We'll get back to it, and then I got the meeting pulled up, but right now it's just intermission music is playing, so it
By the
hasn't
way,
even.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Is that shirt 100% cotton?
No, I doubt it. It's
The
probably
one
more.
the 857 shirt you have?
Oh yeah, no. Let me see what it is. Now, if you do order them,
Yeah.
or if you get, it might be a blue color,
Okay.
because some of the colors we got this new blue one in, and same shirt, it's just blue, but some of the sizes on the other color we were out.
Like
So
small? I'm very small.
yeah, we have medium, but I can get some smalls made. I will.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get some small. If you order a medium and just put small in the comments, I'll get some small. This is 60% cotton,
Okay, that's not
40%
bad.
40% polyester, but it's real soft.
Cool.
Yeah. So it has the map on the back, but then the
Yeah,
map you
that's a
can kind
pretty
of see
color.
has Catalina foothills up here, but we'll yeah, so some people might get a blue. They might get a blue. If you want to get a blue, instead, just let me know. But let's get this. The meeting is we're still waiting for that to start. So
for Brian Etten to say that, who's been covering this from day one, I think it's a big statement. You think that that's in the relatively near future?
I do. I don't, I mean, the people I wouldn't, I mean, I came home after 44 days, so I wouldn't have come home if I thought it was going to be like any day now, you know? But I do think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be like years from now. They're just working too hard, and the FBI is too involved now. It's shifted away from the sheriff's office to more of an FBI investigation. And I was looking at stats yesterday. I mean, for an abduction or a kidnapping like this to go unsolved by the FBI is it's almost never happened. I think there's like one from the 60s. So I just think statistically, and I think it's going to be solved. That's what my gut tells me.
Yeah, and that's what the people on the ground, I guess, are telling you too.
Yeah, but again, at the same time.
All right, that one is over. But I think it is almost showtime to do the giveaway. And then right after that, we'll go right into the meeting. Did you enter, Lee?
I sure did.
All right, and thank you. Devil Dog has become a member, and give him a follow as well. Devil Dog. He's got a great channel. He's been covering Nancy Guthrie too. So Lee, make sure you give him a follow, and thank you for your service as well. Devil Dog 8_88. That's awesome. We're almost gonna do the contest, so let me pull that up. I want to get the last. I don't want anyone to be left out.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Shauna Rose. Sorry if you're not being ignored. Just there's so many people and the thing is crawling fast. So
Okay, yeah, it happens.
yeah. Anyway, hello
So
to you as well.
yeah, so everybody make sure you put it in just like Nana did. Hashtag love, and you will automatically be entered. Now, what's gonna happen is, and the entries are still coming in, so I don't want to let we're gonna watch this for a minute and just chat. Um and maybe, just give it until the meeting starts, maybe. I know people have been waiting, so I know they hate that, but I would hate for someone to just come in and then just miss the opportunity. So hopefully you don't have anywhere to be. Hopefully you're sitting in that comfy spot in your house, like everyone has that comfy spot that they're hanging out in, and you're not in a hurry. But pretty soon I got 1 minute um till the meeting's supposed to start. Now here's the thing, is will it start on time? I don't know. But let's see, we got almost 300 people that entered. So they're still coming in. So we're just killing a little bit of time. I'm going to check the meeting. And then again, make sure you give Devil Dog a follow. Looks like he's just starting his channel, and he seems to be really smart, obviously. And I don't know if he was in law enforcement as well, but I think he has. So what do you think is going to happen? You think Nanos is going to be gone, Lee, after today?
No, not. I'm unfortunately. He sounds like a stubborn guy. The fact that even 10 years ago that he has been an issue, sheriff, that for some reason he was able to drag it all the way up till still today. So, but I do feel confident that he will be gone. It's just gonna take time to get him out. Um, I'd say maybe before the fall comes in, a lot of things are gonna come out to where it would point back to him and hurt him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your awesome input today, and that's awesome that you've just been so open to come on the show and just hang out and share your opinion. And so if anybody else wants to do that as well. Barbara, that's a good question. Barbara says, why don't they fire him? Does anyone know? Well, the main thing is Nanos is an elected official, so it's not that easy to just fire. Thank you, Kathleen. Great job. Thank you, Kathleen. And Shogun, welcome in. Perfectly Me, welcome back. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, 857 is the first 3 digits of our zip code. Did you know that, Lee?
Yeah, I finally figured it out. I drove to Tucson in February 21st. At that time, I think I saw Nancy's. I was just on my way to Mount Lebanon,
Okay.
so that
We're
I think they just had put down cones at that time. It was like a one-way
okay. Yeah.
street.
That's okay. Well, the thing is, the meeting just started, but I want to
Okay,
get
cool.
this
I'll
contest
mute.
going. We're gonna enter. We're gonna do the contest now. If you do win, um, we're not missing anything on the meeting, but I'm gonna do the drawing right now. Now, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna hit draw, and then it's going to you're gonna see all the people's names come up that have entered, and then it'll pick one. Now, whoever wins, you got to email me within 5 minutes your screen name, exactly the way it looks, and we might have to have you identify yourself by some previous comments that you made in the chat or something, by channel activity. I don't know. We'll try it, but here we go. Here's the email if you win. We're going to do it right now. Last chance to enter. You got to do capital L, Jen. Capital L O V E. Capital L O V E. And here we go. We're going to enter Lee. Good. Let's wish him good luck. All right, here we go.
Good luck, everyone. Cross
We got
fingers.
people are still coming in. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more in. I'm going to count it down to 10 seconds and then I'm going to draw it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're drawing 333. 333 people entered. Here we go.
Woohoo!
Barbie's AIZ2834. Email me. You are the winner. You got 5 minutes to email Barbie's. Type in the chat and then just let me know you're going to email me. I'll be watching my email. That's who the winner is. And thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much, Mary. Barbie, are you in the chat?
What's your email again? Is it 857live@gmail.com?
Yep.
Okay,
Now,
there
she
you go,
might
guys.
not be in here. So we got it. Oh, there she is. There she is. Email me 857live@gmail. I will and put the size in the shirt. I saw her name. I just saw it. There's so much going on in the chat. The chat is going fast. Let me see where it is. Say your name again. Oh, where is it? Welcome in, Juanita. In Alabama. Just email me. There it is, Barbie's.
Yeah, I see her. There she is.
I did. If you want, email me 857live@gmail if you want the t-shirt. Congratulations. You won the contest. So email me 857live and put the size if you do want it. Maybe some people don't want it. I don't know. Obviously, if they entered, they want it. So there's the email. I'm checking my email and we're going to get to the meeting. Congratulations. We'll do that again as much as we can.
Thank you. I feel like I should also just acknowledge, like, welcome to our first ever 5 p.m. Board of Supervisors meeting. We also had our first ever study session this morning. I'm still getting acclimated to this new table. And then everybody at the podium there feels very far away. So lots of adjustments. So bear with us as we navigate this. I don't know, the sun is lower, but it feels very different, more than just the sun being lower. So moving on, our next item is our land acknowledgement statement, which will be offered today by Bonnie Schock, Executive Director of the Fox Tucson Theater.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Pima County residents, we honor the tribal nations who have served as caretakers of this land from time immemorial and respectfully acknowledge the ancestral homelands of the Tohono O'odham Nation and the multi-millennial presence of the Pasquayaqui tribe within Pima County. Consistent with Pima County's commitment to diversity and inclusion, we strive toward building equal partner relationships with Arizona's tribal nations.
Thank you. Anything you want to share about the happenings at Fox Theater?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Bonnie. I'm the executive director of the Fox Tucson Theater. We are just up the street. Our mission is to enliven Tucson, fostering community growth and connections by shaping exceptional live arts experiences in a celebrated setting. We've been doing that for almost 100 years, currently serving about 100,000 people annually, including nearly 15,000 K through 12 students each year, and over 1.4 million since the venue reopened after full renovation in 2006. And we've got big plans for the future, including a major expansion project just around the corner that's going to allow us to do that work even better and even deeper. So thanks to everyone in the community for support and showing up and participating in live experiences, which are so important for all of us to do. Thanks.
Next on the agenda is Pause for Pause.
Good evening, everyone. This sleepy boy is very sleepy. He has already taken 2 naps, so he is not sure about the nighttime, but he's happy to be here. He is one of about 500 dogs we have at PAC right now. And the reason I brought him is because he just got to the shelter, and he's one of many. Like we have so many dogs.
Look at how cute
really
that
has
dog
owners.
is.
This guy has not let me walk him. He wants to be held the whole time. So we know he clearly has an owner, so we're hoping maybe they're watching and they can come pick him up when they're watching it. And we want to remind other people that this is the start of PAC's busiest season. Actually, Memorial Day weekend starts off our highest intake season, and it doesn't really slow down till about November. And that's because people are out, they're on vacations, they have different people.
Look at that cute dog.
Dogs, parties, things like that for the holidays, the different holidays. Now is the time we encourage people to come to PAC, whether you have a PAC dog or not, get a free tag, put your name and a phone number where someone can reach you. And that's free. All you got to do is get there. And I want to mention that we are moving east side. We don't have a confirmed date yet, but it is in the works. So we are excited to be on that side of town. And it will be a only center. So if you need outreach services or other things, you can still come to the main location on Silver Bell.
Oh man!
And this weekend we have a free medical care clinic. It is going to be. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the location, but it's on our Facebook page, and it is free to show up, and you can get all the vaccines and some free medical care. And we also have a program that we just started for $35 spay neuters for owned pets in Pima County. And that's with participating vets. And we know that there is a big need for that. We've seen that at our outreach events. So we really want folks to, adopt another dog and maybe get your other one spayed or neutered. So thank you so much. And please come get a tag. It's free.
Look at that cute dog. Look at that face. You can go get that dog right now if you're in Tucson, right down there at Pima Animal facility, Pima Animal Care Center. Go adopt that cute little dog and send me a picture if you can, right? They are a big responsibility. Lots of vet bills and food, but they look at that little cute.
Say bye.
Chair Allen.
Supervisor Khanna.
I did hear our new deputy county administrator say, "New job, new dog." So perhaps, he might.
Thank you. Next is current events and
thank you, Cherokee. Holy moly, thank you.
Supervisor Christie.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Requested a moment of personal privilege. This seems like a good time for it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to pay tribute
to a community leader that we lost recently, Fred Boyce. And I'll just give a brief bio of him. He was a real pillar in this community, a community leader, and another community leader that will greatly be missed. He was a longtime Tucson civic leader, rancher, and champion of higher education. And he died Tuesday, May 5th, and he was 96. Fred Boyce was an influential community leader, having served on the Arizona Board of Regents, Tucson Airport Authority, Tucson Medical Center's Board of Trustees, and numerous nonprofit and civic boards. He also served as president of the University of Arizona Foundation and was a founding member of the Tucson Conquistadors, the civic group that helped establish the Tucson Open Golf Tournament. He was born in Pasadena, California in 1930 and raised in Tucson after his family moved here in 1937. He attended Sam Hughes Elementary, Mansfield Junior High, and Tucson Senior High School. Ranching became central to his life at an early age, and at age 11, Fred began spending his summers working on an Arivaca cattle ranch south of Tucson, experiences that launched a lifelong career in the cattle industry. Fred moved to LA to attend Occidental College, where he earned a bachelor's degree in economics before moving back to Southern Arizona to take up cattle ranching full-time. He started his own firm, the American Cattle Company, and he later served as president of the Arizona Cattle Growers Association and on the executive committee of the National Cattlemen's Association as well. But it was his civic involvement that made Fred Boyce one of Tucson's most respected behind-the-scenes leaders. In 2002, then Governor Jane Hull appointed Fred Boyce to the Arizona Board of Regents. During his tenure, he advocated for expanding access to affordable higher education and became the first regent to serve 2 consecutive terms as board president. He also served on boards and committees, including Arizona State.
Everybody, I do not have an email from Barbie. Barbie, I still don't have an email. We might have to do another drawing. We might have, Barbie, you got to email me. If you don't want the t-shirt, I'm gonna put the timer on though. I need the email. I know I saw her in the chat and I said, I know she has the email. Let's put the email one more time. We might have to do the drawing again if I don't get the email, Barbie. Just to be fair to everybody. But there's the email one more time, Barbie. You got to put the size too, and your name exactly the way your username is.
Our Board of Supervisors chambers, a council member who I have the deep honor of knowing and whose leadership I am most proud of on the Pascua Yaqui tribe, and that's Council Member Armenia Frias. Welcome to the Board of Supervisors hearing room, and thank you for your years of service to the people of Pascua Yaqui and to Pima County. Welcome.
I have a couple of events, announcements. The National Letter Carriers Annual Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive happened this past Saturday on May 9th. It started in 1993, grown into the nation's largest one-day food drive, helping to fill the shelves of food banks in cities and towns throughout the United States. Also coming up is the 32nd commemoration of the 1984 genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda. There is an event taking place at Grace to the Nations on May 17th to honor the memory of over 1 million lives lost and to renew our collective commitment to peace, unity, and justice. And then a quick reminder that the District 3 office has our Pitcher Rocks office hours on May 20th from 4:30 to 7:30 at the community center. I will actually be out of town, so my staff member, Bonnie Bazada, will be there along with Tom Drazgowski, Deputy Director from Pima County's Development Services, to answer any questions around zoning or other issues in the Pitcher Rocks area. So we will move on now to item number 6, which is agenda adjustments. The clerk.
On the regular agenda, page 5, item 19, under Board of Supervisors, 2026 Regional Transportation Authority Special Election. This item will be heard at a time certain of 6:45. On page 7, item 31, under Finance and Risk Management, this is the fiscal year 2024-25 audit results. This item requires approval prior to consideration of agenda item number 32 and will be heard at a time certain of 6 p.m. And on page 7, item 32, under Human Resources, this is the certification of compliance with Arizona revised statutes. This item is contingent upon approval of agenda item number 31. Thank you.
Okay, we have a couple of proclamations. So item number 7 is a presentation of a proclamation to Melanie Bustamante, a Praxia Kids volunteer, proclaiming the day of Thursday, May 14th, the Praxia Awareness Day. I will move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Scott. Discussion. All in favor?
All right, welcome in. This is Showdown. Look, that is Matt Hines. He just came in the building. He's the guy with the glasses. He's a doctor. He's also a doctor. I want to give a big shout out to Cherokee. Again, thank you for that. I think, is that from Australia? Are you from Australia? Thank you so much. I got the email from Barbie. Congratulations again, Barbie. And thank you for stopping in. Come back next time, Lawrence. I appreciate you giving it a shot. I appreciate you giving it a shot tonight. Now we are just waiting. Somebody said it's kind of further along in the show, so we are kind of just in the whims of what's happening. But they are going to make a vote, guys. They are going to do a vote. So we will see. Right now they are doing some proclamations. If anybody wants to buy a shirt that didn't win and you just want to buy one, I will put the link in the chat, or one of the mods can if they have the link. But here we go, back to the meeting. This is Nanos Watch. This is the showdown. The decade-old showdown is going on.
Having a genetic causal basis. And whereas childhood apraxia of speech causes children to have significant difficulty learning to speak and is among the most severe childhood speech defects. And whereas children with apraxia require early, appropriate, and intensive speech therapy, often for many years, to learn to speak. And whereas without appropriate speech therapy intervention, children with apraxia will have diminished communication skills and high risk for secondary impacts in reading, writing, spelling, and other skills. And whereas these impacts diminish future independence and employment opportunities and challenge the ability to become productive, contributing citizens if not resolved or improved. And whereas Apraxia Kids is the leading nonprofit that strengthens the support systems in the lives of children with apraxia of speech. And whereas May is recognized as National Speech, Language, Hearing Month to raise awareness about communication disorders and promote early intervention and support for speech, language, and hearing health. And whereas public awareness about childhood apraxia of speech is essential for families of children with this neurological disorder and the professionals who support them to achieve the needed services for those learning to use their own voice. And whereas our highest respect goes to these children and their families for their effort, determination, and resilience. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims Thursday, May 14, 2026, to be Apraxia Awareness Day, and encourages individuals and families to work within their communities to increase awareness and understanding of childhood apraxia of speech and to support environments where all children can thrive. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you,
Board of Supervisors and everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Melanie Bustamante. I am here today as a volunteer for Apraxia Kids, a mother of a child with childhood apraxia of speech, and an advocate for all children working to find their voice. Today, we recognize the strength of children with childhood apraxia of speech and the dedication of families, therapists, and advocates who support them. May 14th marks Apraxia Awareness Day, a time to bridge the gap between not knowing and understanding this often misunderstood neurological motor speech disorder. So imagine knowing exactly what you want to say, but your brain struggles to send the correct signals to your lips, your jaw, and your tongue to produce those words. This is the daily experience for children with apraxia. It isn't just being a late talker. It's a motor planning difficulty that requires specialized intensive speech therapy.
Wow.
The theme of this day is every child deserves a voice. For many children, their voice includes sounds, spoken words, signs, gestures, and augmentative and alternative communication devices, all tools that allow them to express themselves fully and confidently. Awareness is essential. I'm shaking. It leads it leads to early identification, appropriate intervention, and access to evidence-based treatment. With support, children with apraxia can overcome significant challenges, reduce frustration, and make their voices heard in meaningful ways. To the parents, speech language pathologists, and community advocates, your
This is
commitment is creating brighter futures.
touching. This is really
As we
touching.
recognize May as National Speech Language Hearing Month, we celebrate the professionals who dedicate their lives to helping individuals communicate, connect, and thrive. Thank you so much for honoring this important work and continuing to uplift the voices of those who cannot yet speak for themselves. Thank you.
You can hear it in her voice. How passionate. I've never even heard of what that was. If you guys know about that condition, I've never even heard of that condition. Good evening, Jeanette. Welcome in. I've never heard of that condition, but you could tell that that's her life right there. She's helping people. Kids, sounds like kids, it maybe affects more. But this is what it's about. You know, they're doing good things, even though these people have a lot of stress. That woman, she cares. She's out doing the work, the hard work that a lot of people don't even know about is going on. I mean, there's families out there. I've never even heard of that.
Our next item is a presentation of a proclamation to Annette Leva, Tribal Administrator, Pascua Yaqui Tribe, Ms. Leila Gokobachi, Miss Native American University of Arizona, Catherine Demotica, Program and Volunteer Manager of Arizona Diaper Bank, Felicia Leon, Tucson Unified School District, Native American Services, Magdalena Verdugo, CEO, Victor Boleg, Program Manager, and Lindsay Terry, all of the YWCA. Proclaiming the week of May 12th through May 18th to be Period Poverty Awareness Week. I move the item. Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. I would like to invite
you.
all of the folks who are here to please come on up to the front up there. And I also really want to acknowledge the leadership on this of the District 5 team and Supervisor Cano, who've been really driving forward the collection. Thank you. Would you like to join? Sure.
Welcome in anyone just coming here. We are getting closer to the Nanos Watch, but they kind of got to do these beginning things before. Let me take this off. The banner's in the way. That was a cool headdress that guy had. Looks like he had like a Chiefs hat on almost.
So we're like awkward, sorry.
Did she cut her hair?
You all come around here.
What the heck?
And then would somebody be willing to?
She cut her hair.
Thank
What happened to her hair?
Read the proclamation. Whereas access to menstrual products is a basic health necessity for people who menstruate and is essential to dignity and well-being. And whereas Pima County, through resolution number 2020-92, has committed to advancing equity by addressing disparities relating to race, ethnicity, and socioeconomics, while centering community voices and improving outcomes for populations that have been historically underserved. And whereas menstrual equity ensures that all people, regardless of income, housing status, or background, can access products, facilities, and information needed to manage their menstrual health safely and with dignity. And whereas the impacts of these barriers are not experienced equally, with period poverty disproportionately affecting low-income individuals, youth, Black, Indigenous, and Latina communities, and whereas ensuring access to menstrual products is a matter of public health, education, workforce participation, and economic stability. And whereas reducing stigma and increasing access to menstrual products strengthens the health and resilience of our entire community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the week of May 12th through May 18th, 2026 to be Period Poverty Awareness Week, and encourages residents, organizations, and institutions to support efforts that expand access to menstrual products, reduce stigma, and advance health equity across Pima County. Be it further resolved that the board directs the county administrator to facilitate the voluntary contribution of menstrual products through dissemination of information to county employees and the placement of receptacles for contributions. Passed and adopted this 12th day of May, 2026. Thank you. And I think we brought a donation, what perhaps the first for receptacles, soon to be. So I'd like to say a few words.
Yo Centenavo Herminia Frias. I'm one of the tribal council members for Pascuayaki tribe, and I really want to thank you for this proclamation. It really is important for women to have access to feminine products. You know, I'm just going to tell you something quick. I was just at NIH last month, and they had exactly this. And I've gone to, you know, these hotels that give you this for free, and it makes no sense. It's like we should be doing something. So I really do appreciate that you're doing this, because this is something that women need. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Catherine Namatica, and I am with the Arizona Diaper Bank. Thank you so much for this proclamation. As the Diaper Bank, we do mostly do children's supplies. However, we started supplying period products in 2018. We found that families who need diapers also need other hygiene products, including
I
period
always
products.
donate there.
Something that I'd also like to know is that the Diaper Bank is a member of the Alliance for Period Supplies Network.
You can donate
And they
there if you have
found
diapers.
that in the southwestern region, Arizona and Utah are the only states to still have sales tax on period products. So I'm hoping that this is a further conversation that we can
Oh,
have.
they
and
are really
hopefully support
talking
with
about that. I thought it was
states in
something
the
else.
region to get rid of the sales tax. So thank you so much.
I had no idea it was actually that.
I don't want to say much, but thank you, Andres, for bringing this collaboration together of the different Pima County partners to be able to have one voice and share together the needs and celebrate these wins. So thank you for that.
I just want to thank all of the community partners for coming to your Board of Supervisors hearing room and ensuring that we continue to send a message that Pima County stands with all women in our community. And I agree with everything that's been said, especially the fact that this has long been a District 5 issue from the time of Supervisor Elias organizing to collect some of these critical hygiene items, but most importantly, they're about our wellness and their essential care. So thank you, Chair Allen, for continuing that tradition. I know that all of the folks in District 5 will continue to be mindful of the need for us to put this at the top of our priority list. So thank you.
She cut her hair literally. I mean, she had this long, beautiful hair. Speechless. I'm speechless. Oh my gosh. She cut her hair.
On to item number 9, which is a presentation of a proclamation to Anna Harper, CEO of Emerge, Dr. Felina Cordova, Assistant Professor, Health Promotion Sciences, University of Arizona, Veronica Boone, Wellness Director, Tucson Indian Center, Marcelino Flores, Tribal Liaison, Pima County Health Department, and Rosa Alvarez, Council Member and Secretary, Pasco Yaqui Tribal Council, proclaiming the month of May 2026 to be Hope, Healing, and Solutions Month for Missing and Murdered Indigenous People. I move the item. Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. And all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0.
What about Nancy
And
missing?
I invite everyone to please come up to the
Too,
front.
they should do one for Nancy next time. All right, I'm gonna do something real quick just so you guys can see the hair difference. The hair difference. I just want to point this out. She did cut her hair. So here's the picture. You see how long that hair is right there? Breaking news. Breaking news. She has cut her hair. Oh my God. Back to the meeting.
The 5th leading cause of death for Indigenous women ages 25 to 34 began assessed as the Pima County Health Department and address root causes while centering Indigenous voices. And whereas healing initiatives are designed to address the deep-rooted trauma and systemic violence faced by Indigenous communities and to heal survivors, strengthen communities, and improve responses to missing and murdered Indigenous people's cases. And whereas throughout the month of May, local tribal nations, community partners, and advocacy organizations led numerous activities focused on healing, awareness, prevention, and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the month of May 2026 to be Hope, Healing, and Solutions Month for missing and murdered Indigenous people, to honor the lives of missing and murdered Indigenous people and reinforce the urgent need for prevention, justice, culturally grounded healing, and systemic change. Pima County, in collaboration with tribal nations, community partners, and local organizations, reaffirms its commitment to advancing healing, strengthening coordinated response, and supporting initiatives that center Indigenous leadership, and will continue to work towards safety, healing, and justice for all Indigenous people. Passed and adopted this 12th day of May, 2026.
Well, thank you, Chair Allen, esteemed supervisors, and county residents. I'm very honored to be a part of this. I'm a member of Pasco Yaqui Tribe, and this issue has been one of my highest priorities since I first started under Dr. Cullen about 3 years ago. And so I'm really proud to say that this resolution came forward with the help of Dr. Cullen, her policy advisors, the Office of Policy Resilience and Engagement, so Office Celia, and the folks here. So, MMIP is a complicated issue. And one of the things that I understood from the warriors of old is that they would have a black mark across their face. And this meant that there would be no more words. There would be only actions. So that would be their intentions going into battle. Today's warriors, we are fighting for systemic, multi-sector change that starts with prevention. We're fighting for economic justice and to always center Indigenous voices when possible. So I'm really pleased to be a part of this, and I thank here the folks that are with me that I'll let them share some comments. So.
Good evening again. Herminia Frias, Pasco Yaqui Tribal Council. I want to thank you, Honorable Board of Supervisors, for this acknowledgement. It really does mean a lot, not only for Pascoyaqui tribe, but all of our tribal nations in Arizona and throughout the country. Shining light on this epidemic is very important. For many, many years, we weren't even counted. People were just dismissing the fact that our women, men, and children were going missing. And so having you acknowledge this is important because this really needs the attention from the entire community. And I appreciate the work, collaborations that we do with the Sheriff's Office, with Pima County Health Department. Just on Saturday, we had a run walk, and I really did appreciate seeing Dr. Cullen there from Pima County Health Department. And also, of course, seeing our tribal liaison here, Mr. Marcelino Flores, and just the representation that is there to shine light. So with
Amen.
all of my
Prayer hands in the chat
in Chocotesia. Thank you.
for the tribes.
Hello, and may Creator go with you all. My name is Layla Lanai Gokabachi. I am the 2026 to 2027 Miss Native American University of Arizona, and this is a continuous issue that has impacted our communities across the nation. Almost every Indigenous person has a relative, woman, two-spirit, any Indigenous relative that has been impacted by this. So I am here to help with bringing awareness to MMIP and to acknowledge what has been going on in our communities, but not only to highlight how it has negatively impacted us, but how we as a community come together for healing and for that hope for justice for our relatives. So
Amen.
this is not only just a small thing, this is going to be a continuous effort that we all make together as a community. So thank you for allowing us to take this first step, and I hope that there's many more.
Good evening. My name's Veronica Boone. I'm the Wellness Director for the Tucson Indian Center. Thank you for having us and for joining forces with other partners across Tucson and with the two local tribal nations. So I think that's really good because we're planting some good seeds here. And in case you didn't know, Tucson is, I think, number 4 in the number of missing and murdered, Indigenous people across the nation, which is startling, but not surprising. We're very close to the border. We're within city limits with the Santa Fe District, the Pascoyaqui tribe. So if you're talking about jurisdiction, that just adds so much complication to what if we're
This is
missing.
sad. This is talking about abduction.
What
People being
advice do we get?
abducted.
What level do we take it up to? So again, with these partners, I think this is promising. And I just want to say thank you for having us. And TAC is just around the corner. So we definitely offer services, which Tanya will talk about a little bit.
Jeez.
Good evening. I'm glad to be here. I'm honored. My name is Tanya Rios. I am an enrolled member at the Thana Nation. I am the domestic violence prevention specialist with the Tucson Indian Center. So when I took on that position and that role a year ago, I wasn't expecting to be much more than just the domestic violence prevention specialist at the Indian Center. I've become much more than that. I'm involved with the Southern Arizona MMIP Task Force, a bunch of coalitions and partnerships to help with this crisis that our people face. I also am a survivor. My cousin was murdered in South Tucson, still unsolved, over 10 years ago. So I am a big believer that you end up where you're meant to be. And I think that this is where I am meant to be a voice for our people. Thank you.
We have one final proclamation. This is addendum item number 1. This is a presentation to Courtney